watching this. When did Crush randomly become shit?
Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst, oh my god, the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever I am joined to my right, because he's only here for the Booker T's. It is Sam Chance.
Hello.
And you will never see that piece of shit on a podcast again. It's Jack Chance.
Hello.
Sorry, Jack. You have to be the Hogan of the podcast. And I am your host, bro. It is Ben Chance. And if that doesn't give you an idea of where we are going, we have got our surfboard ready and we are heading to the beach. Bash at the Beach 2000. Why is it that this show always seems to have something happen at it? Ask yourself that. Bash at the Beach, what a show. Have you enjoyed? Well, you're going to be seeing it.
I'll do
very
it
soon
in my
again.
own time.
Yeah, you're going to be watching the whole show all over again.
No.
Sam?
Oh, this just maddening. This is.
It's I've just saw the second match and it made me laugh. So anyway, we are going to be doing a deep dive. The rebooking will be slightly different. We're not going to focus on Bash at the Beach. We're going to focus on what could have been that happened to rectify the shit show that comes out of this between Hulk Hogan and WCW, or Hulk Hogan and Vince Russo, bro. But we will get to that later on. We are going to the 9th of July 2000 and the UK number one, as it is at time of recording, or certainly the
Or is it the same?
person at number one at the moment is Slim Shady, and at number one was the real Slim Shady by Eminem.
His debut, was it? Or? I know.
No, it was
It was
that was
Yeah, well, it's the real Slim Shady.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the fake Slim Shady. The US,
not Rick Bob.
no, the US, they went with the Mexican equivalent. It was Enrique Iglesias with Be With You. Anyone know what Be With You is?
I only know Escape My Love and Hero.
Yeah.
No, I don't know Be With You.
So we'll just say, I'll be your hero, be with you. Oops, they did it again. It was the Canadians going with Britney Spears. And
Get over it.
yes, we've moved on from Britney now.
Yes.
But the Aussies, they have supped on a can of Foster's. They are getting their house music out because it's Freestyler by Bomb Funk MCs. But the Freestyler.
Oh, I know that. I did see it on that night. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning before I leave for the bus.
Well, it wore 90s, it was 2000s for the Aussies, but they love a bit of Bomb Funk MCs.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
I like a bit of bomb funk.
Say that with a mouthful of Fosters. And the box office was topped by Scary Movie.
Number one.
Yeah, then they did a lot more, and they really, really watered down a really weak premise anyway. Big Brother debuted the night before this on Channel 4.
Yeah.
The very first Big Brother.
Fucking hell, and we've still got Craig.
Yeah. You will never see that piece of shit in Big Brother again.
But he did do a Christmas song.
And Mortal Kombat Special Forces was released on the Friday before.
Oh, I know.
My God.
PS1 game.
The world was shit.
The Millennium Bug just took a while to download.
Eventually it worked though. Yeah, it is an awful game. You've got it.
I haven't got it. I do want to buy it because it's one of them that you feel you have to own.
Oh, it's terrible.
But it's crap.
So when we jacks on the front
Yeah. It's awful.
So the Mythologies one out with Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as bad as that though. And Pete Sampras won Wimbledon.
Sampras.
So there you go.
Football's finished.
Yeah.
What else is on?
Tennis. Euros
is finished.
The Euros would have just finished.
Euros 2000.
Who won it?
France that beat Italy in the final.
Might be winning it at the time of recording.
Possibly.
But more importantly, a limousine has arrived at the beach. So there you go. We're going to open cold on that. This is what we start with. It's the cat who is in now the commissioner role of the company. He has his driver or valet or whatever. It's MI Smooth, otherwise known as Ice Train.
I think it is Ice
Train.
Ice Train.
Cat tells him, he says, "Look, I've just remembered what happened in a minute." Cat tells him, he says, "I don't want the filthy animals or the MIA getting involved in the opening match." More on that in a minute. It's a great. Well, he don't even say the opening match. He just, for some reason, he gets there and he goes, "Before this thought goes out my mind, I must sort this out."
We know before. Right, here's me rebooking. Okay? This is what's happening.
That would have been brilliant. So, Kat, how would you rebook version of this? So he basically says no one's going to get involved in this cruiserweight title match. More on this later on. So there's been a running gag, I assume, and Jack would be better placed to tell me. The Young Dragons are a thing. And they've been trying to attack the cats.
They just keep turning up with that music playing, and the cat sells the music like, what the heck is this music?
Which he does do well.
Surely if
it happens every time.
Yeah, surely you just go, "Oh, this again."
Hey, Steve, do my favor. Go get the filthy animal and the MIA. Missing in action, huh? Yeah, go get those guys. And I want you to tell the guy, the commissioner said, do not get anywhere near that ringside during the cruiserweight match tonight, okay? Okay, smooth and handle that for you. Listen, tell them they banned from ringside tonight during the cruiserweight. Smooth and handle that for you. Man, what a nice deal. Did you leave the radio on or something? What's good music? Hey, y'all, what's up? Listen, I don't have. Hold up. I do not have time to play today, okay? Just calm down. We'll do it later on, okay? I just don't have time.
Well, Commissioner Cat, in his first pay-per-view as commissioner, may not have the time, but the Young Dragons have the time. And here comes the Cat as we're ready for Bash of the Beach.
It's when it happens later on. Anyway,
yes.
So yeah, he just basically they get a little bit of offence in, and he just goes, "Oh, I've got to deal with these." Just low blows them and throws them down, and
Why did the crowd not react?
And then it's almost like you can hear Tony Schiavone go, "Okay." So we get to the
point. He just went, "Oh, done."
We get to the opening package, which sort of hypes up the main matches. It's pretty crap as well, that package. It's very, very 2000s. WCW and Masterlock welcome us to Bash.
Chris Masters.
Yep. The commentary team, it is Sam's favourite trio of all time. It's Tony Schiavone, Scott, I don't know whether I'm a heel or a face, Hudson, and he definitely knows he is a heel, Mark Madden on the stick. Mark Madden has some love for Hoovy, or he calls him the Hooverweight champion of the world.
The Juicerweight.
The Hooverweight wouldn't have made any sense. He's not a Hoover.
He's a Hoover.
Yeah.
Socks.
He's lost his mask.
We're on that.
He's lost his mask, and he's uglier than psychotic. So I don't care what anyone.
He's lost his mask and he's gone fucking mental.
George Eric Bischoff. I've said this before, and I will continue to repeat it. The one thing I learned from listening to his podcast was that he said in 1999 there was no better wrestler in the world than Juventud Guerrero.
I don't know. I just keep wanting to go back to Rock's promo to Jericho after he debuted, saying to him, "You think you impressed the Rock because 2 weeks ago you beat someone called Hooventoot." And I think Hoovy went, "Oh, that BG likes me, so I can steal his gimmick."
Well, the fact that he's mentioned him, yeah, he probably did.
I think it's just because of what a saff name is Hooventoot.
The Filthy Animals, despite being told that they cannot come to ringside, come out with the champ anyway. Conan and Disco Inferno do their sort of usual K-Dog stick. So Conan does his rowdy, does all his rhymes for shizzles, and Disco just sort of repeats them, being very white.
I'm the white man in this group, basically.
You wouldn't even know that Chavo was with him.
No.
I mean, he was
It's
so
so
inconsequential in this entrance.
So irrelevant.
Chavo's in the MIA, he's the other one, eh?
Oh, sorry, yes.
He's not a filth, he's a cleaner.
That's why you don't notice him.
Yeah, I mean, in the next
But you
entrance.
are right. He's exactly the same in
He's
the
right
next
in the
entrance.
back.
He's
Yeah.
the least meaty man, so they shove him to the back.
This is meant to be DX in WCW.
Absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're
You've
trying to
got Van Hammer.
they're literally only trying to get over Major Guns, aren't they? Let's
Yeah.
face it.
Tits and general erection.
Yes.
Man.
Facts and general election. Charles Robinson.
General election, man.
He just-
Richard Sunak.
I'd have loved to see Richie Sunak in the
Richard Sunak, Boris Johnson,
Oh,
Theresa May,
that,
and that wench who was here for 2 weeks.
that would have popped me.
What's her face?
Liz Truss.
That's the one.
I'll remind you of UK politics, don't you worry. Charles Robinson reminds them that the cat has said, "Get to the back, you know."
The cat is a bummer up your own end.
The Misfits give some love to Hoovy as they head to the back, and Mark Madden and Scott start immediately arguing about whether it's wrestling or sports entertainment. Fantastic. Loco lays in some slaps. There's a series of atomic drops and a clothesline to the outside. Loco stays on top. Hoovy does some stalling. He lays holding his balls randomly on the top of the stage.
Oh, my ball.
There's a highly unseen suplex to the outside by Loco and a Vader Bomb style sort of springboard. 10 punches by Juice, who gets the cheers. Again, at this point, I'm like, are
Who's
these
the face,
are
who's
these
the heel?
the heels then? Are these the faces? No idea. Don't really matter. Chavo stays on top with an armbar. Nice head scissors, powerbomb by Chavo. Chavo gives Juice a little bit of a spanking on the top of the top turnbuckle. Whatever. Double down after a dual clothesline. Chavo hits a crossbody from the top to the outside, and then randomly now.
Here we go.
I mean, at this point, apart from the spanking, which I could have done without, nothing's really gone too far wrong. Hoovie's been a bit of a dick on the top of the stage. I'm all right with it so far. So the fucking Filthy Animals walk out in Halloween masks.
Yes.
Like random Halloween masks, and they just sort of skulk to the ring. Ooh, they won't notice us. Hoovie tries a cheap win for a 2. There's an ugly looking slingshot leg drop to the outside, but by this time they've already sent him back. They did not.
Bugger off, you ain't fooling me.
Yeah.
Off with ya.
I did notice at this point that the commentary team are all dressed like Wayne Mardle. Oh my.
I can't speak. I can't
Well, I put that. It's a pity that Mark Madden can't speak. There's a nice stalling splash from the top for a 2. Hoovie hits a sit-out powerbomb out the corner, a front suplex. Juice hits his own people's elbow. Not content with it. Fucking MIA now come through the crowd with masks, but they're wearing masks. Fucking Bill Clinton, fucking Hillary Clinton. Major Guns, she doesn't give a shit. She just walks down to show off her, Major Guns, I suppose. Hoovie crashes and burns.
Don't Van Hammer have a Frankenstein mask?
No, is it Frank?
That's just his head.
Should have done the pick. That's what it is. Chavo does get a near fall on a seated curtain call. Hoovie driver for a 2, thanks to the foots on the ropes. Tornado DDT out the corner. And, by the way, all of this has happened. Major Guns is sort of distracted, then hid a little bit, and then forgotten. and Loco wins, but she's had no bearing on that match. I must stress, They had no bearing on the fact that Deuce lost. He just lost.
And then they get up and wrestle for another minute.
Yeah, and then they have a little bit of a scrap after the bell. We've got a new champion. That's one match. I feel like I'm on acid. Jack?
Yeah, I mean, they do all right up until the masks appear, and then you go, well, what is this? And then they just get sent back anyway, so it's pointless. Then they carry on doing a little bit of work, and then the other team does it.
Yeah.
Then you think, oh, well, no, we've played this card, we've played it again. Then Major Guns comes out, and it's supposed to be like, I rip the top off, there's my tits, all of a sudden I'm distracted, that should be the finish.
That should have been the finish.
But
If you're going to have
I ripped the top off, and Hoovy down, sort of looks then down low, and then nothing happens. There's no ref, because he's distracted. Then she hides. I don't know why. What's the point of hiding? It don't matter now, does it? And then they just get up and do 3 more moves. I'm going to kick out of your finish as well, you Hoovy driver. For fuck's sake. And then he just wins with a DDT. It's just really shit. This was the belt that used to have very good matches, which didn't need all the shit involved. And Vince Russo's come along and said, I should add a lot of shit to this.
Eventually, that will be a title for a woman.
Yeah. And you will like it.
So,
yeah, I mean, the match was okay, but there's too much shit around it.
yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, tits, whatever, we've seen one, you've seen them all.
I'm not a fan of tits.
It's just,
Sam doesn't like a tit.
Fair enough, whatever it was, what it was, but it's so, why do you need it in this
It's
match?
just way too much overbooking again. You know, the match itself, don't particularly like Hoovy. I'm a bit like you guys in that, but he's more than capable of having a cruiserweight match. Chavo's probably
Just let him go out.
Chavo at this point is probably the best lower card, mid card talent that they've got. If he's not in it,
What is he in this group?
Match to get over Major Guns tits, which doesn't actually have any impact and doesn't cost Hoovy anyway.
Yeah.
Just very
I
straight.
don't think you need to build up breasts. Breasts have been over for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't need to put them over. Though.
Breasts don't need a long-term story.
Only
Look at that
brain. The cat loves the young dragons now. Again, I don't quite understand this. So this whole, so basically, he's
Where
saying,
is this going?
you're good, you am. Which I'm like, okay, why are they in his office now? Like now, them back things,
Don't mind.
especially because of what happens after this. But they kind of seemingly think they've got a job. But anyway, it's interrupted by Jeff fucking Jarrett, the world champion, nonetheless. It's fucking Jeff Jarrett, and he's got a lady dressed up like a big fat lady from an opera. It's the fat lady singing.
Listen, I saw what you pulled on Thunder last week, but I'll deal with that later. I want to know where Hogan's at. I've got Screaming Mimi here, and every time she walked out of catering, I had her practicing her do-re-mis. I didn't come here to lay on the beach. I came here to cripple and retire Hulk Hogan. Now, where's he at?
Man, listen here. Hogan's not here, man. I'm going to have you somebody else. But Hogan going to be here tonight.
He better be. He better produce his game.
And he's really pissed off the world champion, chicken shit heel, that big Hulk isn't here. Where the fuck is Hulk?
Why do you need to be here? You're right until after.
Yeah. Scott Hudson talked about the speculation that Hulk Hogan might not be there, so they're already laying the seeds for what will be.
Get ready. We're going to drop some bollocks on you later.
But before that, Big Vito,
bollocks.
not Vito, Big Vito, Big Vito is the hardcore champion. And any star power that this division could have has gone because Terry Funk was taken out of this match with a stick ball. And
Stick ball.
yeah, that's what they call it, a stick ball. That stick thing.
It's a stick.
It's a stick for stick ball or whatever that game is.
Fucking stick.
Yeah. Vito puts over the fans having an Italian champion that they can care for now, which I think is in reference to Bruno. But I'm in like Florida.
Oh, yeah. Russo, he only knows Bruno.
Yeah. Oh, God's sake. So he's playing the I don't really
You're
care. I
wearing a dress
want an
later.
opponent. So he just says anyone come out from the back. The return of Screaming Norman Smiley but he's brought Ralphus along with him. So Vito just says, well, we'll have an handicap hardcore match then. All right. So
the only logical thing to do.
Yeah. Vito clocks both men with a kendo stick before they fight to the back.
Because apparently the rules are, it has to start in the back
yes,
and then lead to the ring.
Back.
That's the rules of the hardcore match, yeah.
It's supposed to start in the back and then end up in the ring. That's what they say.
Jesus Christ. It's all backstage assault, isn't it, this?
Yeah, but backstage sort of forgot the bit about going to the ring.
Well, Ralphus then sort of catches up, waddles along and clocks Vito with a bin. He then uses the bin lid, and after a really long wait, we have to get him into position so Vito can clock the bin lid into his face.
Of Ralph's shirt. Where it says "say no to," and it's there pointing down.
Oh,
because it's meant to be crap, but really it's just "say no to my heart."
Say no to back.
Yeah, because he's crack out that much on show.
No, don't really.
Up onto the hood of a van now, and Vito is back on top. The elevator is called for. Before a catering guy comes out, he gets clocked. Norman is sent up into the elevator. That is the only sort of little bit of innovative spot that I liked.
Get rid of him.
Ralphus is on his own now, so he tries to run away. There's a little trickle of blood as well, poor Ralphus. But he's caught. He gets whacked to the balls with a trash can lid. Table time. Never before has a table summed up a complete ball, but it's already broke. So Vito goes, fuck it. I'm going to lay him on this fucking 45-degree angle table. He goes up, and I'm convinced at this point that, look, Vito obviously thinks it don't really matter this time because I'm going through it anyway.
Yeah.
No, it just crushes him. And even then, they couldn't just leave it at that and let him pin without the fact that Norm walks out, so the crowd think he's going to help. But he don't get there. So he's just lost.
Dear. And that was his return.
What the fuck is going on, Sam?
How do you fuck up an hardcore match? Really? How do you screw that up?
Well, let me show you, bro.
I mean, the WF did these for years. Yes, they're all the
This is what he
same.
built.
It is, it is what it is. It's that division. You know what to expect. But how do you fuck that up? It's like what we said earlier with the Super Showdown. You've got a formula, and they fucked that up.
Yeah.
WCW, there's a formula to hardcore matches, and you fucked that up.
That's right. I mean, look, they don't reinvent the wheel. I did quite like the elevator spot. I thought it was sensible. I wish they'd have just then done a little bit more of a beatdown. Norman comes back. To be honest with you, I've always subscribed to the sort of, what's his name? Him with the big
Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel sort of. If you're going to have a surprise, I've kind of got to go over.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have Norman come out, because he's so hardcore, he could lose it next week. Like, to me, Norman should have won. But then if you and you're going to still do it this way, you're coursing Norman again. You need to get over that he's gone up in the elevator and can't get down. Like, you can't just see him sort of wander out.
He just got out on the next floor and got the stage. That's why it took him so long.
It's just bad. Jack?
Yeah, it ain't very good. It ain't very good. This Norman's return. I like Vito. I think he's a character.
Yeah,
he's a WCW character, new, fresh in this era that felt like he can at least talk and work and is a character that's okay. So whether he should be lumbered with a hardcore title, I don't know. But if he is, he's got to win hardcore matches. But then he shouldn't be beating the bloke who everybody loves.
Yeah.
The division is built around, which is Norman.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't anyway. He beats Ralph, and Norman becomes pointless. Then he decides, I'm going to fucking splash you through this broke table.
Oh.
It's just, like Sam says, there's a formula to hardcore matches, and they're completely fucked it up. And the bloke who's booking it is the one who really pushed the hardcore shit into it. So it's crap. It ain't very good. Norman should have won.
What's also not a good idea is turning Goldberg heel, but he is heel, and he has got Hall's contract in his pocket. Like, got all I've been on the show. He ain't been, well, I'll get on to that.
I don't understand now.
He ain't been on the show for 6 months. No one cares, really.
If we ripped it up, this is dead. Nolan Boyd.
Well, get on to that later on.
I mean, he's got to be a scapegoat. He ain't going to Japan to rip up his contract.
In the summertime, when Mean Gene was flying, he interviews Kevin Nash in his summer gear. He puts over how important this match is for Kevin Nash tonight. In fairness to Nash, he does cut a fairly honest promo and kind of gets a little bit of sort of like, you know, emotion into this match. He hasn't been himself.
Are you sure? Because Nash's promo didn't have much emotion in it.
No, I know, but like, you know, it's the kind of thing where he ain't going to shout, is he? But he does end it with Goldberg, though, like that. I'll see you later, Big Bill. I'll see you, Billy. See you, Billy.
Oh, Nash.
Yeah.
You just have to be Nash at the end.
Yeah.
Tonight, it is for the contract of Scott Hall now. Is that?
That's Hall's contract.
It looks like, yeah. That
It's somebody Hall's contract.
Scott Hall's contract in his pocket. And now with that, let's go to Mean Gene.
Kevin Nash tonight, the career of your longtime partner, Scott Hall. His fate is in your hands. Defeat Goldberg, and he stays in WCW. Lose, however, we may never see Scott Hall again.
You know, Gene, it's no secret I've been myself lately. I've been my wise self, I should say. And the reason being there's a bald-headed named Goldberg that's been holding my best friend's contract over my head. And, you know, last week when they aired the footage of Scott and I together, I just remember how much fun we had. And there's no way I'm going to let that end. Goldberg knows I've handed it to him once before. I'm his only real defeat. And he knows I can do it again. And just for old time's sake, sir, Goldberg, when I jackhammer your in the middle of the ring, I just might take a little survey. Everybody knows, Bill, how those things just seem to piss you off.
See you, Billy. All right, Kevin Nash and Goldberg later tonight here at the Bash at the Beach. Coming up, it's going to be a wedding gown match between Daphne and Miss Hancock. Let's take a look at their history.
Does make me laugh.
You have Nash this promo.
I have a lot of money.
So we see the history for this next match, which is Daphne versus Miss Hancock.
More Russo.
The whole thing is about David Flair. Daphne went out with David Flair. Miss Hancock stole David Flair off her. So now they're going to have a wedding game match. Yow. Is what Tony Schiavone says at the end of the package.
Wow.
Yow. David Flair.
Yow, bump this, you bastard. That's what he wanted to say.
David Flair walks to the Stacey to the ring, dressed in his tux, and Stacey is in a white
look
dressing
at the
gown.
state of David Flair.
He looks like he's enjoyed a drug or two. Yeah, there's more on that wedding on our weddings podcast that you can check out in our archives. He has a set of hair clippers. Okay.
Who decided that somebody was going to get the red shirt? Is his hair there versus hair?
I think in the build, at some point in this absolute mess, there was something to do with hair. But again, it's so inconsequential that you wouldn't have known. Jack will know soon enough anyway.
Not find out.
Yeah. Flair and Hancock have a smooch before Daphne heads out. They carry on
Tony
smooching.
Hancock. Where's he here?
They carry on smooching. So Daphne just low blows David Flair, who does the comedy sort of drop. Cat fight until Flair helps out Hancock. There's a China handspring elbow into the corner. Series of snap mirrors, and this is where Tony goes, it's been, technically sound so far. It hasn't, Tony.
No.
We work over to the wedding cake, which is at ringside. Dave Flair gets involved, and Flair and Mark Johnson, who's the ref, both get slapped each by the women involved, and then pants, because we need to have pants. Flair is awful. Like, he doesn't sell it. Like, at least Johnson's like, whoop! Where Flair just sort of like wanders around. It looks like he's homeless or something. He's sent down, and Hancock has her head dumped into Flair's cock. Brilliant. Flair just immediately goes out to get the clippers now. It's like he just runs through it in his head. Yeah. Oh, this is the time I've got to immediately go over there. He doesn't sell. He just goes, oh, I've got to run over there now. Crowbar is out. Thank God for Crowbar. Yeah. He belly to back suplex Flair. He gets carried away, so takes his trousers off.
Because he goes, oh, everybody else has got the trousers off.
I like Crowbar.
At least he's got to give it, and he understands it.
I like Crowbar.
Fuck it.
Front suplex onto Flair. Hancock then stops Daphne cutting Flair's hair by just dancing and stripping, therefore negating the match.
They was lost.
And they was lost.
This is what you all wanted to see. Oh, fucking what's the point then?
Daphne wins. Hancock gets caked. Everyone gets caked. There's cake everywhere. The camera work is fucking awful. I'm not sure who comes out worse at the end of this. Like, nothing. Nothing matters. I like Crowbar, though.
Yeah.
But other than that, Jesus.
Who? So this Daphne actually won this match.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
But it weren't as if like they got the heel heat back and then she was dumped under the cake. They initially caked them, then they everyone got caked, and then so why does Daphne care about David Flair as well? I don't know. Jack, make sense of this for me.
I can't, because I don't understand anything that happened in this match. It was 5 minutes of just pure lunacy. Somebody thought all of this up, and this is how they thought, well, they will tie everything up with this fucking monstrosity of 5 minutes of TV. I don't understand any of this, and I'm replaying it all in my head, and I still can't understand what the hell went on. There's a lot of low blows, there's a lot of pants, there's a referee, Crowbar gets involved. The people who are fighting in the wedding dresses, one of them just goes, I'll tell you what, I'll just strip. No, there's cake. And it'll take a fucking long time to mop that up. It's just fucking atrocious. And you just think, what are you going to do tomorrow night then, Vince?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, brother. It's going to be even fucking more crazy.
Oh, God, bro.
You absolute mad bastard. This is atrocious. I hate everything about this match. Poor Daphne.
This is
Crowbar.
bollocks. Poor Daphne. Poor Crowbar.
Poor David Flair, really.
He's so
for everyone.
ready.
He
suffers for having the wrong
people
fucking
tried with him just
surname.
because of who his dad was.
Yeah.
Stacey Keebler, I hate. She is.
We've established you hate women and breasts.
No, all she is a fucking pair of legs with an average arse at best.
I think he can talk. I think he can talk. I think if
No, she cannot
He hates
talk.
legs,
She is
arse and breasts.
she is a vapid woman that you can find anywhere nowadays. She is not special in the slightest,
I
and she
think she
looks
can
like
talk.
a bitch. Basically, I do not care for this woman. Anytime I see her,
Has it turned you down or something?
no, and I would just look at her and think, yo, ain't nothing special, love. And she's got a charisma of my shoe.
Let's play a character, you know.
But
Let's play a character. And I think you could
life.
I agree with it.
Piss off.
No.
More from Sam Cornett later on in the podcast. The Young Dragons now, who have made a pact with Kat, it seemed like the last time we saw them. They have a job now, it seemed like the last time we saw them. Hide behind broomsticks and bins from the Cat. So we're back to that.
He does name drop Ox Baker.
He does drop Ox Baker. I wish he was in the WCW.
In the wedding gown.
Wish he'd come out the cake.
Hello.
All this whilst the main event is being put over on commentary as well. This is amazing. The seriousness of Hogan not being there whilst one of the Young Dragons hides behind a broomstick. The commentary team talk about the new blood and Hogan. The crowd are behind are looking off somewhere else. Totally disinterested in what's going on
Probably
in the
looking
show.
at the cake.
Yeah, because the crew are desperately trying to sort out the mess.
Maybe, I don't know.
Makes it work.
Yeah, I'm going to say, maybe, I don't know, bring a bucket full of water for the mop to be wet instead of having a dry mop.
Yeah.
They're just rubbing cake in.
They have to turn it over.
Not only are they
Cake
one of the
reappears.
worst companies in the world, but they hire the worst ring crew in the world.
I think the MVP of this podcast is cake, because at least it carried on.
Tony Schiavone does a good job of sort of tying up the history of Bash at the Beach to Hogan with 94 and 96 name checked for different reasons. And then Mr. Perfect's theme cut, please. How WWF didn't sue for that. Like, there's one note different, I think.
That's what Jimmy Hart did a lot. I mean, play the Legends of Wrestling games, and they're doing their best. We shall leave them. It's the Vanilla Ice thing, Gate. Not the same.
The perfect event are our tag team champions is Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo. Now, you mentioned to me that we saw this match. I could not remember.
I remembered it when it got to a spot, and I thought, I'll remember this. I remember talking about it.
Was it
It's
PTSD?
Brian Adams and obviously Brian Clark podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
when you said we'd done the tag match, and I was watching it, I thought,
very
I can't remember
but
it.
then I remember the
yeah.
now you've said that, I thought, oh, okay.
I still can't remember this match. I could have watched this match and not realised that we'd done it until now.
I was
maybe.
thinking we've done it, and then
I think you're right. I
When
think you're
somebody
right.
cleans house, it shouldn't be cleaning house. I thought,
Well,
we've done
for
this.
the very reason of what happens at the end of the match itself, it makes sense that I would have suggested to do it because they aren't tag team champions at the start. But yes, it's Chronic versus the Perfect Event. Adams is dominant early on, throwing Palumbo outside and slamming, and he's a very impressive press slam on Sean Stasiak onto Chuck. Great start. Everyone happy so far? Happy, everything's gone to plan. The dominant heels have dominated. Yep, everyone's happy. Stall for time. The champ's tea's leaving. Clark flips off Chuck for no reason. Stasiak gets in some cheap shots, only to be dominating in the corner with chops. Uranagi as the challengers are on top and laying double forearms. Full Nelson slam by Adams now, but the offense ends with a sloppy drop from the top rope, and eventually gets over the top to drop to the outside, and then his head gently drops on a chair outside. There's a top rope shoulder tackle by Chucky for a 2. Adams is isolated. He survives 3 arm drops. We do a double down on a head collision. Clark makes the hot tag, right? So we're ready now, hot tag. He stumbles out the corner initially, bless him. And he hits a corner clothesline. Then Adams, now he's fine. He comes in, he cleans out Stasiak, melt down his tees, but Chuck floats over, hits a DDT. And there's a weird moment where there's just obvious talking and no one knows what the fuck to do next. So Stasiak takes down Chronic clean on his own. He batters him.
You're the heel.
What are you doing? Then again, does Sean Stasiak covers and Chuck stops Adams, but then it's a 2 anyway. The Perfect Event dominate. There's a double flapjack. Everyone's in. Brian Adams turns into Brock Lesnar. It's a fucking F5.
I don't know. That's more like a Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, true. That's F4. Double choke slam, and then some weird noise, which I remember now was the sort of every time they did their double choke slam, whatever it's called,
sort of fucking
they'll do this sort of earthquake noise, the rumble underneath.
high time, I think it was called.
The pin's second high tide, I've got that. So the pin's broken up. They hit another high tide, and the same noise. It's a crap gimmick. That wins it. Oh no, it doesn't win it. Then they go to do a Doomsday Powerbomb from the top, which is fucking.
Which even the finish. That hasn't got a fucking sound.
Yeah, that's more impressive than the double choke slam.
And now they win.
And then that's it. Chronic beat the Perfect Event. Sam said this. We've said this throughout both podcasts that we're recording today. Like, there's a formula to tag team wrestling. Just follow the formula.
The problem is that at some point they forgot.
What are you doing?
They forgot they were the heel.
Yeah. Short Stasiak's face. He
gets out.
What are you doing?
He nearly fired up to the ground. Fucking heel.
And their gimmick is they're all part of the National Born Thrillers, who are a group of power plant like rookies who banded together. So the heels, the entitled stuff. But Chronic ain't really a face.
They ain't new, are they?
And for some reason, rewatching this, when did Crush randomly become shit? I mean, he wasn't that Crush. No, he wasn't that good, but he wasn't that bad. What happened to him?
The Chronic happened. Prison, I think.
I mean, Adam Bomb, he just was the same, but Crush. Crush, what the hell happened to him?
Like, I quite like the look of Chronic. They are very dominant.
They're decent.
It makes sense that they're your tag team champions. They are a bit road warrior. They've got, you've got to be careful.
That was more like the APA or the.
But what I mean is, like, for this year,
I get what you mean.
They got a lot of challenges.
But Christ, at that spot where Chuck, it's like Brian Clark realises my heel heat, my comeback heat, is gone, and they both lie in the ring, have a chat, and Sean Stasiak goes, "Don't worry, bro, I'll sort it," and turns babyface, cleans out. What the hell is it? It's just a formula. You have the heel heat until you have the hot tag, then you do your impact moves, and we get out of here.
Gosh, you were a tag wrestler for a while with Axe, who obviously knows what he's doing, and Smash. Come on, mate. You know what you've got to do.
Unbelievable. Unbe-fucking-leavable, this match. It's just so weird. 70% of the match was okay. Like, the start of it was okay. I don't like the small ring when you've got such big men on a tag team. It does annoy me. But it's alright. It's done alright. Sean Stasiak, though, what a lovely man. Just like, I'll play by my own rules.
Tell you what, I'll do it.
Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it's for people that at least feel, strange as it is with saying it about Adams and Clark, who've been there for ages, it does feel at least fresh.
Yeah, fresh, yeah.
I mean, Chuck Plummer's so green for me. He just falls over all the time. I know the cake deal for the outside. Sean Stasiak is a lost cause. He is he's just cat.
He's just not in stand, is he?
I love you, Sean.
They want him to be stand, but he just hey.
Yeah. I love Sean, but he's cat. So, like Sam, Brian Adams did somewhere like become cat.
What happened to him?
Brian Clark's never been great, so it was a recipe for disaster. It's like they got 5 minutes in and forgot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt.
But at least at the end of it, the right team probably win, because they should be tagged, because at least they're a strong act.
Yeah, there's actually a sign that says Chronic are the only team. there was a sign as it was going out, it said Chronic are the only tag team. And I always thought, you know what? You're on the money you have. You're right.
In this company, probably is. Just don't turn WF on. You might see a few more.
So
I just got really baffled by how shit Crush got in fucking 4 years.
And this was like
he was competent once.
He got a year in the Fed.
This was a peak time for him.
Well, yeah, but I know what happened there.
Almighty.
And he was the one that went to developmental.
Yeah.
This show as well, it's so shit because now they just repeat the same shit from earlier. Yeah. Someone booking this, I'm sure someone's forgot they've already done this.
Do it again.
So they have Jeff Jarrett comes out, repeats the same shit as before. And he's going to screw with the show. I suppose them trying to get over what he's about to do.
Yeah.
And then the Young Dragons, now they've got weapons and just beat the shit out of that now. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? Then DDP's theme plays, because I completely forgot this was a thing. Canyon is now fucking DDP, positively Canyon. He's dressed as DDP, doing the sort of yoga thing.
This is fucking strange.
He's got a book out.
Yeah, so he carries this book, which is basically a brick. I like Canyon. I really do like Canyon. But he ain't in the level of Booker T in terms of reaction. I mean, Booker T finally comes out, the only fucking one that gets a proper pop. Canyon loses his earpiece early on. And he
I thought he died, is he?
I thought he did as well.
It's so strange to do the gimmick and then not fight the man that you're impersonating.
Did they ever blow this off though? Because Cannon's fighting
because he falls when he fell off the cage.
He got Buff Bagwell over the forklift next show.
In New Blood, but I think what he does, because I did see a bit of that. Yeah, he fights. He was in a wheelchair after the thing being chucked off the stage. Off the cage. Yeah, he's about the face there. DDP's there wheeling. I think at the earlier pay-per-view, during DDP's match with Mike Awesome, I think, Canyon gets up from his wheelchair and Diamond Cutter's DDP off the stage to turn heel. And the book has got a brick in it.
Yeah,
that happens here.
Yeah, but the brick falls out.
What the fuck's going on?
Oh, God.
But none of this makes any fucking sense.
None of it.
And this is why Russo said, Vince never filtered me.
Well,
of course he did. I mean, if he died, look at what you would have done.
Christ, there'd have been 7 blood baths.
You're telling me it was all Ed Ferrara?
Yeah. Canyon loses his hairpiece. There's an Harlem sidekick. Booker T hits a drop kick and a stiff clothesline before the DDP shirt gets ripped and Canyon is thrown out. He exposes the brick inside the Positively Canyon book, so we've got rid of the brick. That will come into play slightly later on. Yeah, top rope close. Because these two know how to run a match inside it. Top rope clothesline for the 2 by Booker. Outside we spill. Canyon uses the steel steps, crashes the steel chair onto it and onto Booker. Now, it won't make any sense in a bit, but the no DQ, the DQ rules have been relaxed until next match. Canyon baseball slides Booker into the ring.
God,
no. Don't get any better. So suplex inside by Canyon for a 2. Booker gets his boot up and Canyon walks into a power slam for a 2. The really nice sit out spine buster for a 2 by Canyon. There's a reverse Boston Crab, which is a fairly unique move. He zones in on the lower back of Booker. Booker powers out, hits a nice forearm. He's sent into the chair in the corner, which Canyon had set up, and he's hit with a spine buster for a 2. The relaxed rules by the referee for DQs, he's too far now because the ref goes, well, you can't use a chair anymore. So he stops Booker T using it. Canyon uses his book behind the referee's back, but of course there's no brick in it. So he just spinneroonies up, he hits an axe kick, and Canyon is down. Bookend, our world champion, who wins the championship later on in the night with the bookend. Canyon kicks out. Canyon kicks out.
Canyonero!
Canyon kicks out of the bookend. We've got to know at this point, I assume, where we're going with the show.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't know whether the man's late, but he probably isn't. They probably booked that.
Jesus. Jeff Jarrett uses his guitar on Booker T and Canyon cutter out the corner from the top for a 3.
Now, with where we go, does Canyon get a feud with Booker? I mean, it would be
should be the chat.
If he was with Buff and David Arquette appears to help him,
how does he come back?
He ends up feuding with...
and it's Buff Bagwell with a fucking workman's helmet.
Yeah, he can.
Canyon, for some reason, when he's doing this Positively Canyon thing, has a workman's helmet when he comes
for God's sake. Right, this match.
You chose this.
If it was in another company, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would.
Both could work. But because it's in this company with a certain man who's crazy, he decides to add a lot of shit involved in it. So he's dressed as DDP, which is annoying because he's not fighting DDP. At least the book thing I'm like, because get rid of the brick, he don't know, he uses it. Oh, fucking hell, where's my brick?
It feels like that should have been
the finish, because then he should go bang, that's spotted, off we go. But for some reason, we've got to get over that Jeff Jarrett's fucking with the show. But we don't reference it for the main event, even though it is the main event. They don't even reference that I have already cost you a match.
Yeah.
So it becomes a bit pointless. So they ruin what was a very, very solid mid-card match on the show between two good workers that the crowd care about, especially Booker.
Up until the part where you can clearly see that the Booker has to get involved with the decisions, it's brilliant. It's a really good match. But at the moment that anything else has to influence it, the finish, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Like the ending, the bookend, kicking out of the bookend to try and get over Canyon, which is to try and put heat on Jeff, which doesn't matter by the main event anyway, is the absolute daftest thing I've ever known. It's so stupid.
So, I mean, the match was okay, but there was a bit too much nonsense.
Yeah.
It just ruins it, and that's the problem.
Vince Russo.
That's Vince Russo, and that's why everybody was going, why can't he go back to this and all this? But no, we watched enough of it. 99,
too much.
Even with the WWF, 99 is shit when you watch it. I was explaining this to Scott yesterday.
A lot of crap.
99 is shit.
There is a lot of
2000, when you go over to the other side, is shit.
Yeah. Awesome, he's flirting with the fat lady in the back.
Oh, he's got the gimme.
Tells off the backstage reporter for disrupting his flirting with the fat woman.
Screaming Mimi, I think her name was.
Oh, is that who
that was what her name.
Fuck's sake.
She had a character name.
Big Papa Pump is out now. He's the US champion, and he's out for his defence. At first, I thought he actually bought his belt, but thankfully, Madej was carrying it.
Oh, Madej!
Dave Pence's all Wayne modelled up as well, by the way. He's a poor man, Jeremy Borak.
Yes. You know it, Steve.
You know it. Oh my!
And we know it. We were told a lot.
Mike Awesome is right here. That's what Scott Hudson says, really. Mike Awesome is right here.
I should fucking hope so.
He's heel as well, by the way. Yeah, he felt babyface in the back, just. And he's fighting Scott Steiner, who is a world-renowned heel in real life.
But he's portrayed in one match as a face who turned heel.
This is all weird. This whole New Blood angle, that didn't think it through.
New Blood loves these already died.
He loves these Russos. Like, I cannot book if I haven't reset everything. Because he comes back though in 2002 for like a day and he says to Stephanie, I want to reset everything.
Yeah, we'll make out the belts, we'll do tournaments. And then he said there's Triple H for Jericho.
And that was
the main event of WrestleMania.
I've not been watching. Can I just do what I want?
Well, you have got Mike Awesome here, yeah? Oh, God. Steiner jumps Awesome and he's backdropped onto the fans in the front row. Awesome dives into the barricade on Steiner. And I'll put that is how you start a brawl. It feels hot. Spill into the crowd and bins are used. Mike Awesome slams Scott onto the concrete floor. I mean, I did not think Scotty Steiner was ducking that. We head backstage. We went back to the ringside, and Steiner uses a fold-up chair. Inside, Steiner clothesline and elbow, and Awesome kicks out. Very impressive belly-to-belly from Bret Rope for a 2. Steiner looks gassed, though, at this point, as he drops Awesome in a backbreaker. He lifts him up, and he's like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah. When he does like the 10 punches, but he just does 3.
Yeah,
I can't be bothered. Fuck. Do a ring breaker.
Awesome recovers. He drops Steiner onto the top rope. It's been very hard hitting so far. The static chair is now used. Steiner is sent into the barricade, and the bell is used on Scotty now. Awesome uses a chair as Tony Schiavone again covers for the ref with the relaxed rules. There's a great slingshot splash into the ring by Awesome and a top rope clothesline for a 2. The cat, who was laid out a minute or 2 ago in the back, it just wanders out. Now, just to give you context, he has, we believe, been feuding with Scotty Steiner and he's banned the Steiner recliner, right?
Why?
And no one knows. Belly to belly by Scott. And he comes out, he says, oh, no, you don't.
No, you don't. That's it.
It's a low blow by Awesome anyway, so it doesn't matter at this point. And an Alabama slam for a 2. Mark Madden does his job telling us Cat has banned the Steiner recliner. The ref is bumped. No idea why that matters.
Why's the ref bumped? There's a crowd.
It just allows the Cat to get in and super kick down Mike Awesome as Steiner moves. There's a belly to belly by Steiner on the Cat. Belly to Awesome. So I'm thinking, well, the Cat's down now, so he can't stop the Steiner recliner, so that's how they're going to get out of it. No, he's back on the mic. Says, I'm going to strip you if you do it. And Scotty goes, I don't give a shit about this belt. Fuck you. And he just does it anyway. And it's immediately stripped. And he wanders off. And then Scotty returns to the ring and almost kills Mike Awesome by dumping him on his head. This
madness.
It was so close. I did enjoy a lot of the powerful clubbing moves. Look, Scotty Steiner had gone 5 minutes too long and he gassed himself up. But again, the Cat's involved. I thought the Cat was a babyface throughout. Now I'm leaning to think that he was a heel at this point, which confused me. He also was laid out 2 segments ago in the back with kendo sticks. No selling that.
Well, he feuded with Mike Sanders. He's a heel.
Yeah, like, none of this makes any sense.
Lance Storm later.
They fumbled it badly. Really, really badly. if you're going to get that title off Steiner because of where we end up in a bit, just let Orson win. Like,
well, I think if you've got the recliner, you can have him like win it when the cat's down, and then the cat can review it on the Nitro and strip it or something. But it's weird to have him go. If you do it, I'm gonna strip. And I don't give a shit. I'm doing it. I'm doing Mr. Camel. It's like, what the fuck? It's like
Steiner was
beat up 2 segments ago, and now he's out. Fine. The Young Dragons don't even get involved in this. The only time. There's just no bother getting involved. I mean, it gets out that Scott's mad, maybe.
We are getting there with
That's
that.
about it. But he don't do it. Mike Awesome any favours.
Oh,
Give
he's...
it an okay 5-minute match.
Honestly, if the Young Dragons had come out and say Steiner had busted him, it would have relegated Orson to below them. It was so inconsequential.
It's just madness, eh? And there's a belting. There's a belt involved.
Second
highest belt.
Yes.
Why have the belt?
This was #1 contender for your world belt at one point.
God's sake. It's just the only thing that does come out, to be fair to him, is that Scott Steiner's mad.
Yeah.
But I knew that anyway.
Yeah. Well, at least we've established it.
We told you that 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We know this. I mean, look, it was an okay hospital, and then he just carried on.
There's still matches to come here.
Oh,
There's 4 fucking matches to come. Well, 5 in a counter segment. It's like,
yeah.
And none of them are any better than this.
No.
So they all get worse.
Yes.
No!
My word. What is going on with this
Jesus
company?
Christ.
What the
Not
fuck is
only
going
that,
on?
just understand this next segment. We're going to a graveyard. There you go.
Don't worry, WCW will be there again soon enough.
And the
Symbolism.
the hammy acting.
Oh,
The demon is with Aisha. I don't know why, but that's his valet. Aisha is basically a knockoff China.
Yeah.
Who was she with originally? She was with some
She was
other
with the
people,
Revolution.
like
Shane Douglas and
course.
Dave Malenko.
Oh, she was with Shane Douglas.
Well, I think it was actually
I was
going out with him. I
him,
think
was
that is his wife, or was his wife at the time. Dale Tall.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fine in real life, but thematically as characters, they don't go well together.
Nah.
It's just so weird. It's like,
Do you
cosplaying,
think
like, what's going on?
Gene Simmons watched this and goes, "What have they done to my demon?"
And he goes, stay back. And he goes, no, I'm coming with you. And he goes, okay, Charles, you watch her. And then they stumble around a graveyard till they find a coffin conveniently 5 yards away. And they open it. Vampiro's not there.
Well, why did
And then he goes,
to be
Vampiro, where are you?
Let me have you.
Well, you know where he is. He's up a tree. Tree jumps down up a tree.
What are you doing up there?
I think he is. He's so black.
It's so dark. He misses anyway, and he just chokeslammed down, and that should have been it.
Of course,
Vampiro ducks. He hits a spinning kick, and the commentary team cover for the talking because they basically talking to each other about the spots. I'm going to kick you now. We pretty much hear everything.
Oh,
Vampiro warns the demon to not make him do what he did to Sting. Basically, this is 1 month on from when he burnt him and sent him, which you can
sent his stunt double crashing.
which you can see check out way back in time on our archives. Vampiro falls into a grave. Have we saw this match before?
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember this.
This is for the demon, wasn't it?
Yeah. Vampiro falls into a grave before recovers and drags it down the demon. That's it. The demon's down there for a while now. He's having a kick. Aisha is grabbed. He drags Aisha away as the demon drags himself out of the grave. Charles. He went that way. Word.
Batman It's over there.
And then they have a very slow jog through a graveyard. And Charles Robinson, he's the fucking torch guy. He just keeps shining the torch on his back just to make sure that everyone at home can see who it is.
Word.
Aisha is rocking by some water. And Vampiro appears from the lake and drags the demon in.
What the fuck? What's the lake doing here? Graveyard?
They fight in a lake for a bit.
Dead park.
Asia.
I think it is actually there because this graveyard is actually next to the arena.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
it takes him a good 20 minutes
Where's
to get
it?
there.
I think all he needed to do was cross the road and stay.
Asia is in an absolute catatonic state. I don't know what has been said
What's
to him.
happened?
The demon is left in the lake again. So Charles Robinson, who seems to be the demon's keeper, wanders in, drags him out. He's absolutely soaking wet now.
Oh,
Eventually makes it out the lake. We see Asia now. She's out now, but she's lying next to a coffin, or that coffin from earlier. So they wander back to that coffin. Vampiro appears from the coffin, spits blood into the eyes of the demon. And then Vampiro offers him to join him, which seemingly now is the hook. He wanted to destroy him like he did Sting, but now he wants him to join him. And he just goes all like Mortal Kombat Annihilate. Never! Proper like, it's like proper Mortal Kombat 4. Vampiro grabs
Were these actually together anyway during the Sting
no.
Yes.
grabs a tombstone and cracks it over his head. And then he puts him inside the coffin. He drops the lit thing into the coffin and says, "See you in hell." The one thing I will say for it is it had a nice, cool little ending.
With a torch.
I like that little
Well, I
bit.
don't know, because the
The match
torch was
is still going on now.
Well, that's what I said.
The ring.
The match ends, but they're supposed to make it back to the arena, of course. So, in theory, we don't know that it's still...
I think he was meant to like set fire to the casket and have the thing, but all it is he's just left a torch next to the casket in an home. That's it.
I do think,
Oh dear.
for what you say of it, like, if they'd have gone full on, like, we embrace that this is hammy acting
Yeah.
and stuff, then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like the broken match
Yeah.
stuff. They'd have gone full on and going to be comedy. But they didn't quite want to do that.
No.
So it felt more like you was laughing at it than with it.
Yeah.
But it did kind of fit the character. I do think Vampiro looks strong throughout for his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The demon needs to end. We all accept that.
Yeah.
So throwing him in a grave is as good as any for this character. And
Oh,
I did
he's
enjoy
still
the
around.
end. I did actually enjoy the end of the match itself. So for what it's worth, on this card, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, but that ain't saying a lot. Cause
No, of course not.
So much shit has happened.
It's probably on the same level as the bog fight. So
Oh, it's worse than the bomb. I mean, the one saving grace it's got is I couldn't see a lot of it. So at least I couldn't see how shit it was. But all the Asia stuff was so confusing. Like, what the fuck happened within that 10 seconds that you was on camera? Like, there's having a breakdown.
yeah, around about 2
All
minutes.
he's gone, for some reason, he's gone in the lake. I should have just...
Maybe he took his pants off. Maybe he took him back.
He's gone in the lake. Let's get back to the ring and win the match. No, I'll go in after him. What the fuck are you doing that for? It's a graveyard. And then he buckles off again. Charles has to wait. Oh, come on. I'll get you that.
Come on,
They're
yeah.
fucking dead. That's what's happened there. Bloody hell, Charles. I told you to look after her earlier. Dead now. You just had a breakdown. And now it's dead. And now he's randomly got in the coffin. Why did he do that? They just bad blood at me. It's like they had about 6 ideas. Instead of saying we'll go with one,
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll do all 6.
He wants to.
And we'll figure it out. And don't worry, one of the ideas is coming later when the match actually finishes. So it is madness. But for some reason, Vampiro, it sort of fits. That's a crazy
Sure, what a
discovery.
Vampiro is sometimes.
Yeah, what are you? What is your gimmick? What are you supposed to be?
Oh, this is mad.
I mean, the more he explained it, the more it did make me laugh. At the time, I was just watching it, was very confused and not really following it. But the more you try and explain it, the angrier you get, the funnier it gets.
It's like
Especially the shit
you
with
do
Asia.
spend a lot of time laughing at it.
Yeah.
Like, it is a very strange thing. I do like Dale Torberg's really like C movie level.
Where is she?
Brilliant.
After turning your back on Buff Bagwell, you claim, of course, that you carried this guy on your back during your WCW Tag Team title reign. Tonight, we're going to find out what the case is, and I doubt that you had the upper hand.
Well, you know, Gene, in this life, in this sport, there are a few guarantees. There are a few things that you can chuck down and say, you know, at the end of the night, things will be exactly as you guarantee them to be or expect them to be. You've known me for a long time, Gene. I've made few guarantees in this sport, but I will make this guarantee. Buff Bagwell, you are a great wrestler, but you're not greater than a franchise. Buff Bagwell, tonight you and I will enter that ring and we will fight like two gladiators. But fans, you can mark it down on your calendars. You can mark it down as a guarantee from the franchise. Tonight, I will defeat you, Buff Bagwell. Why? Because I'm a franchise. Why? Because I'm just that damn good.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Me and Gene interviewed Shane Douglas about his match with
all we need.
Do you know that he's a franchise?
I'm pretty sure that I know he's franchise. He loves franchising asses.
He
Does that mean?
He will franchise you.
Does that mean you've got your arse is over the different span of the country?
It's going to take 5 minutes to say the word franchise.
Just drops franchising a lot.
Oh dear.
WCW are also looking to raffle off the opportunity to be Goldberg's manager, which I didn't even realise was a thing.
Fucking heel.
That's another thing that I forgot. He's the heel.
It won't be by then, no.
We know where this is going.
Bloody hell.
He's buff and he's the stuff, and he's followed out by Shane Douglas and his awful theme music. By the time it kicks into something good, he's in the ring.
Thanks, Shane.
There's something wonderful about Shane Douglas. I've grown to. I mean, he's terrible. He's just so not at the level he thinks he is.
Especially
And I just so enjoy his confidence. He's got the most ridiculous level of confidence for what he is, because he's fucking cat.
Yeah, that's good. What happened when at the end of ECW to get into the he must have got stung by a bee. He just got so
massive though here.
He is so old. And please grow a beard. I don't want your face like that.
Oh shit! I mean, I love him for the wrong reason, but he's just
such a
He
heel.
seems like
he's such a wrestler.
Yeah.
Everything be watching me. I don't want to see him. Don't open your mouth.
Even in the fucking movie,
You caused a zombie apocalypse. That's what. And Roddy Piper had to kill Jim Duggan because of you.
Exactly.
You bastard.
So this is the breakup of a tag team that I forgot ever happened. By the way,
Franchise buff.
Buff Bagwell plays old school babyface, getting their franchise sucks chant, and then he drop kicks Shane. Sorry, Buff drop kicks Shane to the outside. So we spill outside. Buff works over the ribs and side of Douglas before raking the face. Douglas then recovers and drops Buff on the guardrail. He exposes some concrete. It takes fucking ages, that doesn't all.
I love that he does that and then he exposes the cake. That's a bad underneath.
Shows that they failed miserably to sort the cake, so they just flip the mat.
More cake. Oh my god, you couldn't get rid of the cake.
And anyway, it's just reversed and his back dropped onto more padding. Didn't do anything.
This was pointless.
Spinning net breaker, and Buff does his dance like a heel, forgetting he's a fucking face. Buff goes balls first into the ring post outside. Douglas pulls his best. Buff. Yeah, just remember that. Douglas pulls his best bloated heel face at the crowd. I remember it. He gurns at the crowd, but it's like his face is pumped up in a balloon. It's massive, like proper massive face.
It's not a big head, Bo.
No, it just feels like he just turns to curd, but he just gets a massive head. Fucking brilliant, man.
What a man.
What a man.
You have to be a wrestler.
Oh.
You can't be anything else.
He was a teacher.
Oh, the love science with Mr. Douglas. More confusing DQ rules.
How did the Fed not take him with the Radicals?
Yeah, the Radicals would have been a hit if they had had him as the mouthpiece. That's all I needed.
Oh, shame.
More confusing DQ rules as the chair is punched into Buff's head. Douglas drops Buff on his neck and he works the neck. He legitimately had nearly broke his neck recently. By the way, Tori Wilson's out now. I have no understanding of where she fits within this storyline. I thought she was with Killing Kidman. Big slap to Shane Douglas, Buff by Tori Wilson. Buff gets a 2 on a roll up. He rallies with a clothesline. There's evaded bomb by Buff for a 2. Tori's up on the apron, flirts with Buff a little bit. But of course, Swerve. It won't be the last Swerve, but Swerve. And she low blows Buff. The Pittsburgh plunge is his. But even then, they still just win. Just win. Kicks out. Look at this when he pulls her face. Yeah. He does his blouting there. Just fucking massive head.
Oh, God.
Double arm DDT by Buff for a 2. So Tori has to stop the Buff blockbuster. He hits an inverted stunner, and Shane gets the girl again. He swerved us all.
Shane,
but the best of it is, it should have been XPW. He should have belly to belly there because he's an ultimate heel. Franchise. What a heel! What a heel! It is the epitome of stod.
No, it's so Shane Douglas. It's beautiful. It's everything that I expected from you, Shane, and you gave it me. I'm happy you did, but it's so shit.
It's
These two are just going to do nothing, and I accept that. They're going to do nothing in this match.
Don't do back up, please. What to do? Oh no, it's Lex Luger. It's the same thing. It's another blow to his back.
It's just a shitty. They don't do a lot, but they don't do anything particularly bad, but all good. But it's just floating along, and then of course we get story has to go in, and the story has to be so convoluted. I'm with you. No, I ain't with you. This should be the finish. No, we don't do the finish now. You can get up and do your finish on me as well, and then I shall do this random jawbreaker, which don't look offensive at all.
It's
and then I'll beat you with that, and then I'll leave with Tori. As with Kidman, where's Kidman?
Lead to the sort of
the Viagra,
yeah,
the DNA.
but with Kidman, not with Buff.
Yeah, poor Buff. I mean, he was he's feuding
with Canyon, who's feuding with DDP over Buff Pop, who's just beat the world champ.
Buff wore even with Tori. How can Tori turn on Buff? And she wasn't with Buff.
The more we knew off, did he? Franchise.
Thanks, Shane. You beautiful man.
Every time he did that,
that's all he does, sir. That's his promo.
He's a one-down shit gimmick, and I hate him, but I love him. Oh, he's becoming a boy that I want him, Teddy, because he's having a podcast boy like you.
When I listen to him outside of wrestling, I think, you know what? You seem like a really nice bloke, but if I ever see him wrestling, I want to hit you because I don't want to watch him, but I do want to watch him.
It's just brilliant. Stop doing that. Just a boy, crap a boy.
We need to do Shane Douglas.
We do.
Absolutely. I've never known a man.
Every company does this.
Yeah.
It's the same. We've seen this with so many different combinations of three letters
and women. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
When you said that, I thought, I'm sure we did this in the XPW.
He should have belly to belly, Tori. Ultimate heel. He should
have shot her with the trank. Let's be honest. He can't shoot both. Bingo.
Oh,
what a match! What a match!
You wouldn't have thought.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he did the swerve for a swerve bollocks. But I tell you what, Shane Douglas.
What a man! What a boy!
MVP.
Jeff Jarrett calls Gene Oakland's Jurassic slap ass.
Now that is a good insult. Then why would you want to slap a Jurassic? Yeah. Hulk
Hogan's here, by the way. Gene's told us because obviously he always checks in with him.
I turned up with him.
And Jeff Jarrett drops a thing about Usual Suspects, and I've seen the Usual Suspects. No idea what he's on about.
What are you on about? Yeah.
I think he's on about Kaiser Soze being Vince Russo, but it has no bearing on anything. Like doesn't make any sense. Choke on that.
When did the Usual Suspects come out?
94-ish, something like that. But
that's a really current up to date.
Talking about rat race.
Yeah, Vince Russo. That hadn't come out yet, so he'd a bit ahead of his time. Say Stuart Little, Flubber, fucking Flubber. That would have been his flow. Vince Russo going, you got to be current up with the time. You've quoted a film 6 years old. The turn of millennium was really bad for the world, boy.
We did definitely have a millennium bug.
I was going to say, maybe the bug happened. We just don't realise it yet.
The package as well for the build of this looks awful. And Michael Buffer's here. He's out for the main event. It's not the main event, Michael. We all know it's not the main event. Even if we didn't have the main event, it would still not be the main event.
The main event would have been for a bit of paper.
Yeah.
Really.
Two biggest stars have been on a collision course, he says.
Biggest stars? Fucking Jeff Jarrett.
He says for a few weeks. This made me laugh. Last few weeks.
For a day.
Let's get ready to rumble. Do not remind us about that film, to be fair. Never has Michael Buff been so pointless to a call, really, with what happened. Jeff Jarrett is out first. We have no Jarrett for about a minute to his team playing. Again, they're trying to get over that there's some shit in the back. Vince Russo heads out with a baseball bat. I think this is return. This is his return to TV, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he disappeared for a little bit.
Jarrett shows anyway, and then Rockhouse plays because he's sort of going back to
what's going on here. It's when because I think during his feud with Horace, he has a Hell in the Cell match with him on Nitro where he comes out as Hollywood.
Oh my word! I can't take any more information today.
Yeah, because I think this is sort of he's meant to be doing the split personality. He's Hulk Hogan. He'd been fun Hogan at one point. Then he went back to the red and yellow, but Hollywood's meant to be,
Horace in a cell.
Yeah,
and they gave it away on free TV.
I'm sure it's on free TV because that's when he comes out. We haven't heard that music for a while, and it's
Horace.
And it's Hollywood Hogan because he did a promo when he did
back Hollywood. For Horace.
Yeah. It's because when he cut the promo with the Yappa Pie strap match against Flair, he said, I'll go Hollywood. I'll transfer form from Hulk to Hollywood. So obviously that's the thing he's going with now.
So he's going on
because I've got over with these gimmicks. I am now both.
When was he going to be Mr. Nanny? That was it. Hogan takes the mic. He says Hogan has chosen, Jeff. He's chosen to powerbomb him right through the ring for his friend, Big Sexy.
You never done a powerbomb in your life.
Jeff stalls for time. He drops to the mat as the commentary team talk about it. Mark Madden tells us that we're TV-8ing from the script.
Oh,
lovely. Hogan takes the microphone. He says, "Is this you, Russo?"
No, it's you. Is this your shit, Russo?
This is the way to build a company, isn't it? This is why the company's in the damn shape that it's in, is thanks to bullshit like this.
I don't know. What's the rest of the show?
The best of it is, though, and they do sort of dumb it down a little bit, but when Hogan wins, Buffer announces he's the new world champion. No! Well, because he probably thinks, that was a hell of a match. He don't understand what's going on.
Oh, God.
Hogan's pissed and he heads to the back. We get some shocked faces from the commentary desk. Mark Madden and Scott Hall. I mean, I can't ask you. We'll get on
Match of the night.
Yeah.
They don't fuck anything up.
Yeah, well, Madden, Hudson and Schiavone all seem pissed off. They do start to... I mean, Schiavone's probably the most professional in thinking, I ain't burying Hogan. Whereas the other two do try and bury him a little bit more. Vampiro just walks past Hogan in the back now. Yeah. He's finally made it back to the ring. There's still a match going on. He needs to win the match from earlier.
See Hogan in WCW. He was walking past Vampiro.
Wonderful. Vampiro tells us that the Dark Circle has now been completed.
What was that?
What's that?
The last sequence to get rid of the demon.
The demon is dead.
Oh, he calls him Dale a lot.
Yeah, he promised to finish off both Dale, Torborg, and Sting. We want Sting chants. Then druids carry out, in Sting masks, carry out a coffin, which looks like the one from the graveyard earlier on.
Yeah, is that really what we're trying to? We're trying to say that it's the demon is going to be in there.
Should be now, you should.
The coffin is opened and Seek and Destroys plays and.
They don't even dummy.
No,
it's all proper.
Give them credit. It is got a really cool sort of feel because of the theme playing and the thunder and the look of the druids. And then this Sting-looking guy, he clocks Vampiro with a bat and lays him out. And then I do like the fact that you've got the disciples of Sting all pointing at Vampiro, who is now sort of resting calmly in the coffin. Yeah. I mean, I am the biggest fan of Sting, but if you're going to do Sting, you've got to do it like this, and it was really well done. So it wasn't a match, but it was. It was.
What a finish!
Again,
they wear like a Sting mask over his own face. That's the problem with Sting.
I'm not absolutely convinced it was Sting, really. Yeah, but it made you believe that it was enough to leave you with doubts as well, which is sensible because. Why would you throw Sting's return
not
away?
Not long after he'd been set on fire and he come out in a ski mask for a week when he did that promo where he had the thing on.
Oh, so that happens after this?
I don't know if it was after or it's already happened.
Bash at the Beach was the Human Torch.
Yeah, no, but I'm sure they say on commentary we haven't seen Sting because he's still in hospital from the burns.
Oh yeah, what's this June or July?
This is July.
Yeah, Great American Bash is June, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think I think he comes back after that to cut the promo after this. So they forget all this.
Yeah, so we've got like this. This is right. He's Humpty Dumpty.
This is worse than.
He's Humpty Dumpty.
Goldberg, he's got this little rope thing round his neck, and now I don't know whether they explain what it is, but it looks like suspenders. So it's
stripper Billy,
stripper Billy. He's interviewed by Gene. You shouldn't have Goldberg cutting a promo in the back, even as a heel. He's very stiff. He says he should have ripped up Scott Hall's contract, as you say. That humanly.
Is that all you've got to do, Bill?
But in the build, you see him eat it. And he shit it out.
One of them put it still here. Teased you.
Everybody's contracts.
Billy.
And surely if you didn't eat his actual contract, why have you wet some paper?
No, I don't know. It's just awful.
So much going
Awful. He interviews him anyway. Goldberg is stiff. He says he should have ripped up Scott Hall's contract. He's going to beat up Nash, rip it up. Stumbles before the ending, saying there ain't a damn thing Nash can do about it, but it's not a good promo.
No.
Well, hang on. I thought if he won this match, he got his contract, so surely there's something he can do about it.
I mean, if he'd have got his contract, though, what bearing does that have on anything?
I don't know.
Because if Scott Hall's got a contract, why is he not there? None of this makes any sense. Just because you don't. Every time you go to work,
because he got caught cheating on one of the executives' niece who he was dating. So that's why
it's a bit like Bart's soul, isn't it? Like, you're working on the basis here that everyone who turns up to work has to have their contract. If you don't have possession of your contract, you're no longer working here.
How do we know you're working?
See ya. Brilliant.
Fucking hell. Vince Russo is out. But it's not Vince Russo the character, is what we're told on commentary. It's Vince Russo the boss, who is the same person.
It's not Vince Russo the character, that's Vince Russo the boss. Look at his face.
Yeah, we know that face, don't we? Doesn't even know what to say.
How do you explain what happened with Hogan and Jeff Jarrett?
There's only one way for me to do this, and that's for me to tell it like it is.
Here we go.
All right, we need to hear this. Let's lay out.
3 weeks ago, I left WCW.
real life here, fans.
More real than I thought it would
3
be tonight.
weeks ago, I left WCW, and quite frankly, I didn't know if I was going to come back. And the reason I didn't know I was going to come back or not is because from day one that I've been in WCW, I've done nothing but deal with the bullshit of the politics behind that curtain. The fact of the matter is, I've got a wife, I've got 3 kids at home, and I really don't need this shit. But let me tell you the reason why I did come back. I came back for every one of the guys in that locker room that week in, week out, bust their ass for WCW. I came back for the Booker T's. I came back for every single guy in MIA. I came back for the Animals. I came back for Jarrett. I came back to the guys behind that curtain that give a shit about this company. And let me tell you who doesn't give a shit about this company. That goddamn politician, Hulk Hogan. Because let me tell you people what happened out here in this ring tonight. All day long I'm playing politics with Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan tonight wants to play his creative control card. And to Hulk Hogan, that meant that tonight in the middle of this ring, when he knew it was bullshit, he beats Jeff Jarrett. Well, guess what? Hogan got his wish. Hogan got his belt and he went the hell home, and I promise everybody or else I'll go in the goddamn grave. You will never see that piece of shit again.
Amen.
But I sat out there in the people just like you, and I know you paid good money to come here tonight, and nobody is going to be ripped off here tonight. So Hulk Hogan now has the WCW belt. And Hulk, let's refer to that as the Hulk Hogan Memorial Belt, because from here on in, that belt don't mean shit. Because there will be a new WCW belt, and as far as I'm concerned, that belt still belongs to the one guy that busts his ass week in and week out in the middle of this ring. And you people can love him and hate him, but he doesn't screw anybody back there, and that's Jeff Jarrett. Now hold on a minute. Jeff Jarrett is still the official WCW champion, but he will defend that title in this ring tonight. And he will defend that title against the son of a bitch back there who for 14 years has been busting his ass in WCW and can't get a goddamn break because of the Hulk Hogan. And I'm talking about Booker T. Booker T and Jeff Jarrett are the two reasons why I'm in this damn stinking business to begin with. So tonight in this ring for the WCW title, two deserving guys, Jarrett, and Booker will compete for the WCW, and they'll tear this goddamn house down. And Hogan, you big bald son of a bitch, kiss my ass.
It's the same man.
Vince says that since day one he's been in WCW, he's had to deal with the bullshit politics backstage. Says he has a wife and kids and he doesn't need this shit. He came back for the guys in the locker room who bust their ass. He came back for the Booker T's and the Misfits in Action and the Animals and Jeff Jarrett.
Van Hammer.
Yeah, he came back for Van Hammer. And the guys who give a shit, the guys that give a shit about this company, okay?
Van Hammer moaned about being called private stash because in a kayfabe military thing he was the lowest rank.
Stealing a living.
So he had to become Major Stash.
Even though that don't make any sense.
No.
Really. Hulk Hogan, that goddamn politician, doesn't give a shit about this company. Vince Russo says that today Hogan wanted to play his creative control card.
Oh no!
Which meant when he knew it was bullshit, he beats Jeff Jarrett. Vince Russo promises you will never see that piece of shit again. He then says that the belt Hogan has doesn't mean shit, which is the world champ. Russo then says that there will be a new WCW belt. It doesn't say the world champ as well. And that still belongs to the one guy that busts his ass and love him or hate him. That's Jeff Jarrett. They hate him. Russo says that Jeff will defend the title tonight against Booker T and ends by telling Hogan to kiss his ass. Oh dear.
I mean, we'll never truly know the real story because everybody will have their own version. But I don't really understand why this was the thing that they went to bat that he shouldn't beat Jeff Jarrett. Like, if it was Sting or...
Yeah.
But this is Jeff Jarrett on Bash at the Beach. It's not like he's in this amazing run.
Well,
what the fuck are we using that mind?
There's a lot of conspiracy that it was all written to get to the point where they didn't have to pay Hogan his sort of like bonuses for turning up and stuff like that. But, you know, Vince Russo obviously does have an issue with Hogan. You can clearly see
I
that.
can understand because he's got creative control.
Yeah.
And that doesn't
but,
help.
like, he ain't worth nothing, is he? If he goes into a company that has no star power, looks at the star and goes, I ain't putting the belt on him. Like, I ain't being funny, but Hogan having the world title on this roster is not a problem.
No.
Like, you've got a lot more problems than that.
Yeah, he still looks okay as well when he comes out. It's like he's lost
he
his
can work.
body
He can work around him. Like, there's absolutely...
2006 Hogan. No, he's not got the hair extensions in.
It's just a terrible, terrible way to handle it. And I don't know whether he probably did play his creative control.
But to be fair to him, he's been feuding with Kidman.
He had a fucking Hell in the Cell with Horace Hogan 2 weeks ago.
I like Kidman, but he ain't on that level.
No.
And then he's fighting Horace, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, he lost.
But this is the very first time he's ever used it.
Yes. This is the one and only time
that he had to use his creative
control. My word.
Absolute bollocks that is, mate.
I saw Stargate 97.
We all saw Stargate 97.
I love professional wrestling.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's an absolute joke that this is the end of Hulk Hogan. And it is, you know, it doesn't help WCW not having Hulk Hogan. No, because whatever you want to say about him.
Don't worry, Shane Douglas.
The French.
I'm here for the
They should have said that. Tonight, Jeff Jarrett's going to face the franchise. I forgot to say.
He'll have another woman swerve him as well.
But yeah, like you say, Hogan come in and it turned the ship. Well, the NWO turned the ship, but you know, him being there was a big part.
Well, he kept him in.
They've not got Savage, they've not got Hogan. They're about to lose another man because his contract is eaten.
I mean, they only have like Goldberg and Nash, and even they gone before
Goldberg
the end.
is off. Nash is gone. Lucas, what he is.
Lucas. I mean, they can't get rid of Luger. They want to, but they can't.
The commentary team talk again. They chuckle about how much shit we've gone through tonight, and there's still half hour left, folks. Brilliant. Goldberg is a heel now. He's already eaten Scott Hall's contract and ripped it up. But if he rips up that contract tonight, then Hall is gone.
What the fuck?
And he wanted to do this.
You should just leave it.
The whole point of this apparently is that he hates Hall because he tried to undermine and destroy WCW, and the crowd cheered him. The fuck's that? Like, what is going on? Nash heads out from the back. I do like the fact that he's seeing Scott Steiner have a piddle in the corner.
I don't get, is he getting a blowjob or is he having a piss? I don't know what's going on there. Because he sort of goes to me coming to watch me back and he goes, I'm busy. And I don't know whether he's getting a blowjob from Medusa or Medusa.
Yeah,
Or he's piss up the corner. And he goes, oh, yeah. Look at her. Billy. Walk back.
Goldberg just walking out with a piece of paper is pathetic.
In the front of his pants.
You're just awful.
You've come a long way since 1998.
Oh, Jesus.
What's happened?
Both men circle and jaw at each other. Fairness to them, because they've got star power, it feels like a big match. Goldberg sucker punches Nash in the corner, so Nash fights out with his knees to the gut. He trips him down, butterfly suplexes him over for a 2. There's a big super kick. Goldberg tells the crowd, "Fuck you!"
I don't know how to be a heel. I'll sweat.
There's a massive choke slam by Nash for a 2. Scott Steiner's finished his piss and he's out after all. Goldberg locks in a sleeper as Scotty tries to motivate Nash with a contract. The swerve is so obvious at this point.
Yeah.
Nash with a weak-looking side slam. Goldberg avoids a spear and crashes into the corner. We know what happens there. Jackknife is set up, and Steiner... Jackknife? Oh, yeah, he sets up the jackknife, but Steiner jumps in. He attacks Nash. Nash does deal with him, though, and then he's speared by Goldberg. It is impressive that he hits the jackhammer, at the very least. And then he rips up Hall's contract, presumably. I mean, we never see Hall again.
Did you hear the bit of the commentary that made no sense during the heel turn?
No.
Scott Hudson who said, how much did Goldberg pay Steiner to turn on his best friend? And then Giovanni goes, oh, did Goldberg do the paying?
Speared him out of his boots. How much did Goldberg pay Scott Steiner to turn his back on his friend Kevin Nash? Or did Goldberg do the pain? Is he going to get him up?
I didn't say how much did Goldberg pay him, or was it Goldberg?
Or did Goldberg do the paying? I think Scott Hudson just had that.
I think both. In fairness, the minds must be melted at this point.
It's only 2.5 hours show.
We've still got a main event. I mean, look,
Crazy.
I do think there was a little thread that you could have tied in if you had the common sense to say, right, you got rid of Hall, you got rid of Hogan here. So the reason the NWO finally going out to WCW.
And then they come back as a baby.
So maybe you could have tied all that in. But there was no foresight. I don't know where they were going with this after that. Now he's lost. What now? Like, what? Don't get it? Like,
what's Nash fighting for
What
now?
is he fighting for now?
Yeah.
He wins Russo by the end of the year and he's champ after the War Games.
Yeah, he wins.
And he's with Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett.
He wins the belt. We've got that coming up this year. We're going to be
War
doing
Games
WCW War Games 2000. And
And a nitro.
he's on Nitro. He wins the belt.
Just to step out.
Yeah.
He's at, oh, Jesus, wet.
And then
Like 2 months, 3
and
months.
they do
So we don't
qualify.
give a shit about Scott Hall.
And then Goldberg's the face.
Yeah.
They do.
Goldberg's the face by the next one because the next one is a triple threat between Goldberg
Oh, yeah, that's what
and
he walks
that's
on.
when he
wanders
goes,
off,
"Oh, following the script."
Yeah, and then they give Nash and they put Nash Steiner in for his baby. What brain? There's so much going on. God. This has got the least shenanigans in it, to be fair to it, because it's just one shenanigan.
yeah.
And even then, the shit can him really, because he just boots him.
Because, I mean,
It doesn't even have any relevant suspense.
Scott is immediately
It's similar
relegated.
to the SummerSlam 95 when Luger helped him and Nash beat up.
He just gets him back, and then he just boots him anyway. And then he just does the recliner after. But earlier he was like the mad, I don't know, I'm the
Now,
baby face.
as soon as he's
Then
turned
he's heel.
heel, he's wrecked. The match was fine. I didn't dislike the match too much. I thought they did it quick. I actually think Goldberg and Nash work quite well together in terms, that they seem to have a little bit of chemistry.
Where it's always a bit shit, but it feels right.
It feels like it's the right kind of care. It's like one of them shits you have where you go, that's better. It's them kind of shit.
It does feel very WCW.
I don't. If there was no other swerves and this was the only swerve, I could probably give it a pass. But by this point, Jesus Christ, we did not need another
swerve. Much. I've got a headache. I really have.
Thoughts on this?
Oh, it's a. I don't know. At least it was short and there was one swerve, so it's okay. But the fucking feud over a piece of paper just makes no sense.
This made no sense. But the commentary line did make me laugh. Because it's like,
at least, to be fair, at least you've got Steiner on the right side of the line.
Yeah, he is not a face.
Just the bloke who he's turned 4 is on the wrong side.
But to be fair, just don't have him on any line, just have him go out and beat anybody up.
All right, Tony, we are back with Booker T. This has been perhaps one of the most emotional evenings I have ever experienced at World Championship Wrestling. As I understand it, from Vince Russo, Booker, now you're going to be facing Jeff Jarrett, and yes, the WCW heavyweight title will be on the line.
Man, this all came as a surprise to me. I really don't know what's going on. Vince made the decision, and I'm going to do what I got to do. Opportunity has knocked, and I will be damned if I don't answer that door. I am going to do what I have to do tonight to take that gold home, take it around my waist, and take it into the next millennium. Can you dig that, Gene?
I can. Tony, back to you.
Backstage, Booker T is with Gene. He says that when opportunity calls, you've got to answer it, and tonight he will answer the call.
You lost earlier.
He doesn't reference the fact that he lost because of Jeff, but it does feel like he's being babyface, sort of doing what he needs to do. Buffer will be pissed that he's been paid to do 2 calls tonight, but he doesn't. We can barely hear him anyway. The commentary team do give a love into how amazing these 2 guys are to hold down the fort because of nasty old stinky Hogan.
Hang on, didn't we just have a match?
Yeah.
It's like
at the end they go, that's it. That's the end of the format. We've got nothing else.
Yeah, they do, yeah. It weren't. They had Nash and Goldberg, don't they?
No, after that. They do.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, so Friday.
Good night, folks.
We've got nothing
yet.
No script.
Never planned.
Like, oh, for God's sake. Of course, he's scripted. This fucking wrestling.
Well, they've both been held.
Stupid.
The fact that they keep going on about how both of these have been held down by Hogan. Jeff Jarrett's the champ.
Been in the fence for it.
Yeah, he's legitimately your world champion at the start of the show. Like, how can you say he's been held down?
The chosen one.
We get the title shown off, and then Jeff ducks away from the first offense. The crowd noise drops really strangely at this point, but I think it must have been a chant from the crowd that hasn't aged well. Booker T pushes.
We want Jarrett.
I assume the crowd chant, as I say, was something they didn't want to play in. Might have been, something really offensive. Slow start as Jeff lays in some nice punches. There's a Harlem sidekick. We spill outside because of course we do. Leads into the crowd because of course it does. And Jeff is sent into a wall. Not the wall, a wall.
Where is that wall?
Tony promises we will never, ever forget Bash of the Beach 2000.
We will.
We definitely will not.
I'll try, but I call.
Booker T is pile driven onto the conference
We'll be
table.
watching this again.
Sleeper hold. Booker T fights out. It's locked back in. He works the leg of Booker and teases a figure 4, but he's cradled into a 2. Figure 4 is then locked in, but Booker reverses it. Jeff continues to work the leg. He recovers. He lays in an axe kick, spin-a-rooney, big spine buster for a 2. There's a ref bump in the corner, and Jeff grabs the title. Booker reverses it, uses it, but that even only leads to a 2. Chair is brought in. He's put in a corner. Jeff is sent into it, but again there's a near fall. It's just full of false finishes. Jeff just takes down the ref with the stroke at this point. Just like,
why not? We've done everything else.
Yeah. Guitar's grabbed. He goes for his shot from the top rope, but as he lands, he's hit with a bookend, and a referee runs out and counts the pin. We have Booker T as our champion.
I was half expecting Jerry to kick out.
Again, they're very, very close. Could have done without the ref crap of you don't need to do the stroke, you've done the spot. You could have just stayed down.
Yeah.
The first bump alone with the ref was fine. But it was a good moment for WCW, and it does feel there's a tiny, tiny little flicker in this dark, depressing night that has been Bash at the Beach, that they can now flip this into something with Booker T. He's immediately not champion within 6 weeks' time. So
I think the next night he's stripped of it.
Oh, is he stripped because of they weren't the right refs?
Nash is healing Fury with him over the belt and all later on.
My word.
Absolutely mental. Jack, thoughts on that?
It is. It's so mad that they ended with the feel good Booker T win, and you had to get through all of that to get to
It
this.
didn't feel very good.
So
did it?
much happened. By the end of it, I don't care. They've done too much. Haven't they? You can't give me this now. The first title win for Booker T.
Yeah.
After all of what you've done to me.
It is like
But the match is
repeatedly whacking you in the face with the pickaxe and then giving you a roller.
Don't worry. Oh, come on. I wanted that roller. But not that one. It's just mental. And like you say, the match itself's okay. We could have done with that, the stroke to the ref after. What's the point in that?
Yeah.
At least it didn't have any running. It was, it's just one ref but too many.
Yeah, and if you're getting behind this whole notion of they're doing it for the right and the good of WCW, Jeff has to just dull his heels shit down a little bit. Because Vince Russo's just cut a babyface promo about him, so then he's immediately a prick again. What happened to the fat ladies? That's what I want to know.
Where is she out singing there?
They almost got it right.
Almost.
So,
well, this is the equivalent of get around your arse to get to your helmet. Really. You wanted Booker as the champ,
Christ.
but you ended up with an arsehole around the corner. But I do like your analogy of each back to the name of the PK. And they beat him in a roller. I think that just ends it there.
overall, then, absolutely fucking mental show.
God. God, that's just an headache. It just gives you a brain aneurysm. I'm surprised I haven't had a stroke. I must be honest. It's just mental.
It is.
It's just 2 hours of the company.
I've never known a company have swerves on top of swerves on top of swerves.
How much?
But to be fair, the more you swerve, you're just going around in circles.
You keep back at the start like that. And I often think, and I haven't seen it, but Monday Night Show must have been weird.
Watch it all. It's like Nitro and Thunder. It's just mental.
I think
so much
Thunder's worse.
At least 95% of this show was awful. Like, really badly awful. The Hogan stuff just sort of shows how poorly managed everything was. Whatever side of it you look, whether it's more Russo or Hogan, it's just terrible. I know we'll ask it in a minute, but WCW have come out so bad on this. Like this is the same sort of them competing with Fully Loaded 2000 and
that's the one where
SummerSlam.
you've got the 3 matches. I'm saying that's one of the best.
Yeah, like
pay-per-views
the
ever.
top when them WWF have calmed down on the attitude shit, they're focusing on the
wrestling.
wrestling a little bit.
Rock Benoit, Jericho, Triple H, and Taker Angle, which is slightly not looked on favourably because Taker did not give Angle much.
Yeah.
This was like biker Taker.
Arsehole.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, it's WCW really suffer because of this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I just think, it's on pay-per-view as well, so imagine you ain't bought it. Like we don't have them in England. We don't have the pay-per-view. So if you was a WCW fan, you didn't have the internet to that point, and then you turn Nitro and you go, what the fuck has happened?
Booker T's the
Booker
champ.
T's champ.
He fought Canyon.
Yeah, he fought Canyon.
And lost.
Tony Wilson turned on somebody she wasn't with to go with the franchise. And what the hell's happened to David Flair? It's like, and then by the end of that show, I bet everything's fucking different again. It's just you have to watch one show and just have a break. Just have a month off from the company.
And when you come back, it's
just mental. But like I said, it is so strange that they did end up with the feel-good end.
Yeah, they kind of ended up where they needed to be.
This is a pay-per-view with everything that doesn't deserve that finish.
No, God no.
They should have. It deserved the Goldberg eating a contract. Sure, it was doing. Oh yes, some fair.
God.
Good old madness.
Round table then, match of the night.
I'll go with the second world title match because it's the only one with fucking
Booker T, Jeff, as well.
Ronnie.
It should be Booker T, Jeff. I've got to give a mention to the graveyard match just because the more you explained it, the funnier it got.
Yeah, I think I'm glad someone has because I quite like the graveyard match. The worst match.
They're all crap, are they?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say the franchise for me.
Yes, Shane Douglas.
I call the wedding gown match I ever going to be good, is it? But it's just so bad. But I'll gotta go with the franchise.
Yeah, I'll go with say.
I'm going to give it the tag title match just because it's bad Crush. Good. That was just a surprise.
Well, MVP is going to be hard here. You've got to find someone who'll come out of this shit show better.
Well, I know the commentary. I ain't giving it them, but the commentary.
Yeah, they did well to cope with all the crap.
They did well to not lose their minds. I'll go
I
with.
think Shivani did. It was just
I'll go with Booker because at least he ends up with it.
Well, I'll put Booker, but I mean, still could argue by the end of the show he's had his 1-1. But
it feels watered down. No chat.
But I will go with Booker.
Yeah, it's got to be Booker. Really.
And LVP.
Oh god, the whole bloody company.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Just gone to fire.
WCW and its immediate future because it's fucked, mate. It's on fire. Right.
Brain.
Let's have a break now because we will take the attempt not to rebook that because that was a disaster and a nightmare. What we're going to do is we're going to rebook from there and we're going to consider that Hogan and Russo had concocted this whole thing which would lead to Hulk Hogan returning to WCW in some form or fashion between the show and the end. So in theory, you might have rebooked him just to appear on the final Nitro, but yeah, of course, you've got to try and...
I have gone all the way to the last pay-per-view.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've only got to Starcade.
And me, roughly. They do reference where I go.
I really want it. I thought,
I'm going to leave you last then. Sam, if you've done a lot of work, I'll open with you.
Oh, we want a lot of work.
So everything that happens. So he's gone from WCW TV. Whilst Booker T is recognised as the WCW champion by Vince Russo.
Yep.
Jarrett would invoke his rematch on the Nitro the week after the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Whilst Booker T would be sort of uneasy with how he's become the WCW champion because of all the bollocks that's happened. Jarrett would win the title back from Booker on that Nitro, and Russo would see Jarrett as the leader of New Blood, while Bischoff would see Booker as the sort of the guy. And at New Blood Rising, it'd be Booker versus Jarrett for the
leader of my
the New Blood. During the match, I would want Russo and Bischoff with a little bit of friction outside with them, with the camera shot up the ramp, and then obviously out comes the big red and yellow goblin. I'm back with my belt, baby. Fuck you. He's returning with the title, and whilst he's on the ramp in the ring, Booker T would win the title back from Jeff Jarrett. He would walk between Bischoff and Russo and then just sort of stare at Hogan. He's got a belt, what the fuck's going on? So on Nitro, Hogan would come out again, the ring cut promo on Russo and Bischoff, talking about how the company was built on the backs of guys like Hogan, Sting, Flair, Nash, Luger, Goldberg, and Eric Bischoff too. But Vince Russo, since he's arrived, has been poisoning the mind of Bischoff and doing his best to rip everything down that they built. He says that Bischoff and the NWO, him, obviously he was in it, tried to rip down WCW, and they ultimately failed because WCW was too powerful, and he realised over the time how much he loves this company, as does Eric Bischoff. He says that they can see through the facade of Russo saying he's doing what's best for the company, when in reality he's just following the path that he paved with the NWO.
Yep.
So he's basically trying to rip it down. Russo would come out without Eric and say it's all bullshit. Okay, you've only ever cared about yourself. Booker had come out, but before he could say anything, Russo would be in his face about New Blood Rising, what bloody hell happened. The question is loyalty. I'm going to get to my second page. Question is loyalty. Yes, of the New Blood. So Russo would then challenge Hulk Hogan to a War Games match at Fall Brawl.
Yep.
It would be Team New Blood versus Team Hulk Hogan. Hulk's Heroes, if you want to call them that. You can find it. Hogan would want Booker, but before anything, Russo would say Booker T is the team captain for the New Blood, and he will prove his loyalty. So Team New Blood would be Booker, Jarrett, Steiner, and then I thought I was going to have the Harris brothers, but then I thought that isn't New Blood, that's old blood. So I had to have
racist blood.
Columbo and no hair versus Hogan, Nash, DDP, and Chronic. They had agreed to team with him. Booker and Hogan would sort of clear out in the respective rings, and then they would turn to face each other. Russo would be outside of the cage and berating Booker T to finish it. He'd get in the cage and slap Booker, and then out would come Eric Bischoff, who's making his return. He's been off TV for a little while. He's going to return, which would distract Russo and Hogan and everybody, and it would allow Jeff Jarrett to roll up Hulk Hogan and win the War Games for the New Blood. On Nitro, Russo would celebrate, with Hogan coming out and stating the real victory was actually for Hulk Hogan. It was actually for WCW because of the crumbling foundations of the New Blood. With Booker and Eric Bischoff dubious in their support. Yes. Russo, to prove Bischoff's loyalty, books Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett at Halloween Havoc with Eric Bischoff as the referee. The match would result in Hulk Hogan winning, with Eric Bischoff inadvertently clocking Jeff Jarrett with Hulk Hogan's title and then counting the 3 for Hogan, and Booker would defeat Nash at the pay-per-view as well. Right, Russo would be irate after, this is on the Nitro after Halloween Havoc, with what went down, and demand Eric take control of the situation himself and deal with the Hulk Hogan problem once and for all. So at Mayhem, Eric would book Booker T versus Hulk Hogan to unify the titles, the WCW title and Hulk Hogan's title, and rid the New Blood of Hulk Hogan once and for all. The match would end in a no-contest shenanigans bollocks because Jeff Jarrett would come in and lay them both out with a guitar. Eric Bischoff would want answers from Jeff Jarrett on Nitro the next night and say he was just following his orders, Jarrett. And that's when Russo would sort of not shot Eric Bischoff or whatever. And take out Eric. So Russo at Starrcade would book Booker T versus Jeff Jarrett at Starrcade for the WCW title. However, Bischoff would say his 50% stake in the company or whatever it is. I don't even know what the fucking dynamic was, but it's 50% Booker. So Hogan is still the champion in his eyes and everybody's eyes here. So it's a triple threat to unify the belts. Hogan, Booker, Jarrett. And Bischoff would also face Vince Russo at Starrcade for full control of WCW.
Yeah.
Vince Russo would defeat Eric Bischoff, so he would become the figurehead going forward, and Eric Bischoff would be gone. And Booker T would win the triple threat to unify the 2 titles, and I would want Hogan, even though if you don't want to, you're doing it. You've got to hand the belt to Booker T and let Booker T celebrate like Warrior with 2 WCW titles in the ring. Hogan is then going to feud with Vince Russo going into the last 3 months. And Booker T can be the face of WCW.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Very good.
Well, I wouldn't do the shit at Bash at the Beach.
Well, yeah. Well, that would we'll rebook it back. I would have hired Vince Russo. So Russo would open the show for me, bragging about ending the NWO for good and the cancer that has been in the WCW since Hall walked in the place, because he's got rid of Hall, he's got rid of Bischoff, and he's got rid of Hogan all in one night. So Nash would come out, interrupted, get beaten down by Steiner and Goldberg. Vince would keep pushing the narrative of the new WCW, playing himself up as the saviour of WCW. And he's going to reward those who showed loyalty to WCW throughout. So Booker T, he would be a fighting champion in the background, but Steiner and Goldberg would want the next shot. So Russo would make it a handicap match. Would make a handicap match at New Blood Rising for Nash versus Goldberg and Steiner. with the winner getting the next shot. And in the match, Goldberg would be ordered to lay down by Russo for Scott Steiner. As Nash is done, he's finished, but he would spear Russo and walk out, and Nash would cover Steiner for the win. So at least it's a bit of a better way of doing it than you're not following the
angle of what they wanted.
So I've got Goldberg back face, which is important. Booker T would successfully defend against Jarrett, which would set up Booker T versus Kevin Nash at Fall Brawl. Nash would suggest to Russo that if he reinstated Hall, that's all he's really interested in. He'll walk away from WCW and hand the title shot to someone else. But Russo's a prick and he won't do it at all. So Booker T would start to be a bit sympathetic to Nash in the build. And Jarrett and Steiner would sort of be aligned with Russo. Booker T would swerve in the match though, and he would join the alliance of Russo, Jarrett and Steiner. So we've got Booker.
Heel?
Yeah, Booker T's a heel. Nash is alone. Nash would appeal to Sting to become to rise up against Russo, because even though they're not the NWO anymore, this is basically a new form of the NWO. You can feel it, and he's the one man that ever stopped this kind of thing before. So if we want WCW on an even keel, we need Sting on side. And even though he would be reluctant, he would ultimately come into conflict with Steiner, Booker T and Jarrett, and he would align. So it would create a 3-man alliance going up against Steiner, Jarrett and Booker T at Halloween Havoc, Goldberg, Nash and Sting. But Goldberg, he's going to be feuding with Chronic. So he's been taken out in the build-up to this. So Goldberg would be out of the match, and Nash would have to put his career up against the 3. So it's a 2-on-3 match. We know where we're going here.
Yeah.
Who's the third man? He put his career on the line for Halls, basically, at Halloween Havoc. It's 2-on-3 now. Sting would fight back after Nash's leg is taken out, a bit like Sexy Lexi. Sting, though, is laid prone. He's out. I love my Macho Man. And then, Hogan's theme plays. He returns with Bischoff in tow. Booker T and Steiner slide out the ring. Hogan looks down at Sting. Russo offers him the belt, smiling, because it's all been the plan all along. But Hogan this time wouldn't.
Hogan
the leg.
loved this.
He'd swerve on Russo, and he would join Nash and Sting in defeating the heels. He was babyface Hogan all along. Bischoff is now back in joint control, so he would make Booker T versus Hogan to find out who is the official champion at Starrcade 2000. At Mayhem, though, Hall's now back, obviously. He's probably pissed, but we'll do it. Hall, Nash and Hogan would all reunite as the NWO to give us a
group.
And they would beat Booker T, Jarrett and Steiner. However, Ric Flair would return to align himself with the heel faction. So at Starrcade, you've got Booker T versus Scott Hall. No, you ain't. That would be weird. Booker T versus Hulk Hogan. Scott Hall and Nash versus Jarrett and Steiner. And Sting versus Flair. Which sounds like a much better card than what we got. And you can check that out in the archives. It was shit. Hogan
Steiner be silly.
Yeah. Hogan becomes champion. Flair beats Sting to become #1 contender, and Hall and Nash get their final tag team run. So 2001 would start with those feuds. I'd have Russo move away with Flair taking more of a power and feuding with Bischoff over control, because Vince Russo is an absolute dog shit character. And I would have Rick Steiner align with Scott Steiner to feud and ultimately take the belts off the Outsiders. And Booker T would be the main feud with Hulk Hogan, and I'll probably see out WCW with Booker T eventually beating Hogan.
Turning baby.
Sam?
Right, a lot of this has already been mentioned. So, at Bash of the Beach, I would keep it the same.
Yep.
The screw finish. The only thing is, Bischoff is there, but he doesn't leave. So after the promo, Vince Russo fires Hogan.
Yeah.
So obviously saying you've never seen him
so
again.
that piece of shit.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're never going to see him again.
Yeah.
Bischoff comes out, and he ain't happy with it because they're meant to be joint
running this. And he said, we got to make these decisions together. You can't fire him.
Yeah.
And stuff. And Russo was screaming, well, I've done it anyway, so what are you going to do about it? And, you know, he's gone. So obviously he can't overrule that, so he books Jerry to then face the bloke who he screwed. Mention something that happened earlier in the show. Yeah. So he screwed Booker, so he said, well, I'm giving Booker the chance to fight Jerry for the belt then.
Yeah.
So that's how Booker wins the belt.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Russo, Bischoff, that's the main thing at the power play. New Blood Rising. Russo books Jeff v Booker for the world belt, the rematch. Where was New Blood Rising? It was in Canada. So guess what's going to happen? Screw job.
Brett.
No Brett. No Brett, but there's a screw job. So
Jim the Anvil Knight on back.
No. But there's a screw job because it was in Canada, Jerry wins.
That Russo.
Yeah, and what they do is they take out Booker. Steiner comes out and helps him, beats him up. So you got Russo, Jarrett, and Steiner. It's similar to what you had at Survivor Series '98 with Vince, Shane, and Rock and stuff like that. So then he says he's fired Booker. You know, you're gone.
Yeah.
But obviously, Bischoff said, well, what you can't have this. I'm sick of this. We need to figure out who's actually running this. So, at Fall Brawl, we're going to do War Games. So, you stole my idea. So, Team Russo would be Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, Canyon, and Shane Douglas. Just because why not?
Only 4.
Why not? Yeah, it's only 4 because I couldn't think of any more. Team Bischoff would be DDP, who would have come back by this point, Sting, Bagwell, and I have put Stevie Ray because it links into Booker T being fired by Russo, so he pissed that.
Can't it be Arvid?
No, it's Stevie Ray.
The only person.
I've got the T to live on. Don't matter then. So they in it, it was just something for them to do. Bischoff wins, so it means he's the majority owner.
Yeah.
Or running it, so everything's got to go through him. So he then rehires Hogan. And at Halloween Havoc, he books Jerry D. Hogan for the undisputed title. Yeah. Hogan would win. Bischoff would then, the next night, say obviously Hogan's the champ, but I'm bringing back Booker, and he does deserve a rematch after what happened at New Blood. So at Mayhem, you've got Hogan v Booker for the world. It's a face thing, face thing, but it does end in a no contest because it's Russo, because of Russo, Jarrett, and Steiner interfering and just beating them all up, including Bischoff. You can take him out. At Starrcade, it's going to be made a fatal 4-way between Hogan, Booker, Jarrett, and Steiner for the belt. Steiner would win because he's mental and he just goes on his own and has the belt. Like Russo was saying, no, this ain't the plan, it was all for Jerry. He's like, I don't care, I'm having it. And I think he was the best person to have the belt towards the end. Yeah. Him and Booker would be the main thing, but obviously get Steiner because it's Steiner. Hogan would challenge Russo and Jarrett to a tag match at Sin because he's like, I'm fed up of this bollocks now. So it's a tag match. Whichever team loses, then either Bischoff's gone or Russo's gone. Hogan and Bischoff would win, so Russo's gone.
Yeah.
So what happens then? Bischoff makes Hogan v Jarrett a Super Brawl. Is it Super Brawl Revenge? That's it. I knew there was a revenge in there somewhere. And that's a number 1 contenders match for the world belt. Steiner can be feuding with Booker on the other side. Hogan, Jarrett, Hogan would win. So he gets his rematch with Steiner. Steiner agreed.
That fits in.
But Steiner would win because it's what he's saying, well, I want your career then on the line. And he would win by maybe the Magnificent Seven and the Flying Machine. Just look Flair and Animal coming out, clearing on Animal.
Animal costing home.
Yeah, you know, them that big group, because Russo's gone, so you have got still got Jarrett, you've got group. You know, the Steiners and all that. They can cause Hogan gone. But obviously the company's gone. I need to say country. The company's gone.
Gone to shit.
Gone to shit. So that's the way of getting rid of Hogan and, you know, finishing off the shit that's about to come. But yeah, so Hogan's gone, and that's how we'll book him. Keep him around for a bit.
You need some stars, for fuck's sake.
Desperately, yeah. But if you feel that it needed to feature more franchise, you can let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org.
I have to admit, I've forgotten fantasy for this.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to...
I can see what you've put. I think I know the idea. So.
Okay. You can follow us on Twitter, which is at BCCPod, or our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCPod. We round out the episode, as we always do, with a fantasy card. And as this featured a graveyard match linked very much so to, well, we think Vampiro and the Demon. I don't know what to do with the graveyard. We decided to make specialty matches for wrestling gimmicks previous. So it will be a specialist match in a location that is intrinsically tied to at least one, if not ideally both, of the gimmicks involved. As Sammy's going to have to think of his on the fly, we will go to Jack for his match number.
Bog fight or swamp fight, whatever you want to call it. It's Bray, obviously, because he's Bray.
Yep.
He's Skinner.
He was a bog.
In the swamp. He lives in the bog.
He is the bog.
I'm going to put over Bray. Obviously, I love Skinner.
Mine is golf course match. It's on a golf course. So, of course, if it ain't white, it ain't right. It's Irving Wright versus Mr. Hole-in-One, Barry Darso. And I'm going to put over Mr. Hole-in-One, Barry Darso.
My first one is a Jurassic Park match.
I like it.
Luchasaurus versus the biggest dinosaur of all, Bone Ganya.
Brilliant. What a match.
I'm putting over Luchasaurus.
Just imagine in Jurassic Park when he does that and he looks to the side and Vern's there with his dog.
With his son. The great.
Well,
Clever, great.
Dog collar match in a dog pound.
Yeah, in the dog pound.
In the dog pound.
Well, go for it.
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Mad Dog Vachon.
Yeah.
And the dog from WCW. All joined. Like two and they
Jesus
joined in the
Christ.
In the dog pound. And there's only one dog. There's only one dog.
Who is he?
Mad Dog. Because he's mad.
He is mad.
Going over the Mad Dog.
I'm glad he made the card. Mine is dance studio match. It is Summer Rae, because she was a dancey with Fandango. Versus Emma, because she did some dancing.
Some weird dance.
Versus Irish jig dancing Becky Lynch. And because her dancing was the worst of what was a terrible bunch of dancers, I'm going to put over Irish dancing Becky Lynch.
My next one will be a Kennel from Hell with the dog from WCW versus the Yellow Dog.
That was Ryan Pillman.
Yeah. I'll put over the dog.
Brilliant.
Because why not?
This Hell.
It's in Hell.
Hell match.
It's in Hell.
Well, it's an Inferno, but it's Hell. Kane.
Well, yeah.
Versus Scott Norton, who was Fire.
Yeah.
Fire and Ice.
You're suggesting here. You should really have said Benoit.
Yeah. He might not be there.
Oh, God.
He might not have done it.
Kevin Sullivan.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
Free Benoit. And I'll put over Kane because he lives there apparently. I think he does.
He's the devil's favourite demon, isn't he? Mine, it's a swimming pool match. It's the shark, because obviously he's a shark.
It's versus his boy. Is it his boy, Shark Boy?
No, it's versus Caval. Because they say the
Well, no, that's why I was looking at that, trying to think of the fantasy. I saw Caval.
What's he doing? Well, the swimming pool, is it? And because he ain't really going swimming, it will be Shark who goes over.
My next match is in an igloo. Ice Train versus Glacier.
Brilliant.
Glacier wins.
Love it.
This isn't a buried alive, but it's sort of a reverse where you are buried and then you have to get out.
Okay.
Taking me the zombie.
Dig them up, bitch.
No, they have to get out the cell. Taking me the zombie.
It's drilling stuff.
The first one to get out wins. And the zombie's got to win because he's made for it. He's made for getting out his grave.
My next match, jailhouse match.
No, could be anybody.
Versus it's Nails versus Jailbird Crush.
You meant real people in jail. Brian Clark.
It could be a hell of a lot of people, but I'm going to put over the main convict in wrestling history, which of course is Nails.
Nails.
My next match is in the reptile house in a
Yes.
zoo. It's Jake Roberts and Ricky Steamboat that can have the things hanging about.
Yeah, that probably would have been an idea.
Yes, but it's really boiling in here.
It's fucking boiling in here.
I'll put over Jake. It's just the first to leave.
Bull ring.
Yeah.
Not the Birmingham bull ring.
An
It
actual
could
bull
be
ring.
in there
Yeah.
if we wanted to. Bull rope. Bull ring, bull rope. match.
Oh, a bull rope.
So they've all joined as
There's
well.
a lot of bulls in
There's
this.
4 of them.
Yeah.
So they've all joined like that. It's Bull Buchanan,
Yeah.
Bull Dempsey,
Yes.
Bull Payne,
Yeah. Oh, Bull Payne.
Bull Nakano.
She'd probably win.
Bull Nakano's going over.
The greatest of all bulls.
Better than the other bulls. They're
Mine-
bullshit.
My next match is it's in the Butchers.
Ashley.
And it's the Butcher from Butcher and the Blade versus the Butcher from who is the Butcher, as in Brutus the Butcher, versus
Brutus.
Butcher Vashon.
He ain't booked himself.
versus Abdullah the Butcher. And I'm going to put over Abdullah the Butcher as well. He ain't
Butchers.
in the Butchers.
My next one's a beach match. It appears on a beach. So it's Shark Boy.
Yeah.
It's Hermit Crab.
Brilliant. Hermit Crab gets on.
I'm going to put over Shark Boy.
What a match.
Money in the bank.
Yeah.
Deposit your money in the bank.
That's all you've got to do.
Yeah.
Who gets in the queue
It's
first?
like rat race, you know, where they race to that thing. They can race to the bank and then get in the queue. The first one to deposit £50 at least wins.
What a wonderful match.
Big money match.
Yes.
VK Wall Street.
Yes.
Cameron Grimes.
Yes.
JBL. Ted DiBiase Jr. and Ted DiBiase Sr.
Well, they will have the most amount of money because they defrauded the state.
Yes, but JBL does.
They could also be the Jerry.
He has the means of transport.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what, he never gets any love. I'm going over VK Wall Street.
Good old IRA.
Go on.
Weatherspoon's breakfast match.
It has to take place.
breakfast time. Weatherspoon's breakfast. It's the APA versus Jake Roberts and Ric Flair.
Oh, I wanted like John Hastings. He liked to be Weatherspoon's breakfast.
When I originally wrote Weatherspoons, my initial thing was going to be people who would definitely love Weatherspoon's breakfast, but Jake would have been there from the night before.
Yeah, Jake.
So Jake and Ric Flair, they're acclimatised, so they're going over.
Next one in a barn.
Yep.
It's Giant Haystacks. Me Big Daddy. Why not?
Big Daddy isn't in a barn. Red Rooster, surely.
No, it's his perennial heel-based dynamic.
Yes, yes. Well,
And Big Daddy would win because he can't be moved.
I love how Big Daddy has gone over. We've got
Bash at the
IRS
beach.
and Big Daddy going over. Fuck you, Hogan. It's still all about
If Vince
Big
Russo
Daddy.
had cut that promo on Big Daddy,
You will never see that fat piece of shit. You will, mate.
I'd have walked in.
No one else will watch this product if they are. Trust me, you've had it. But if you feel that we've missed the trick and there is any other gimmick-based location matches that we could have thought of, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. July is almost completed, but we have one more stop, and that is to celebrate a man that would never ever play his creative control card. It is Uncle Fred himself. You might know him as Old Tuggers, or you might know him as Typhoon, or you might have seen him fall flat on his arse. It is, of course, the Shockmaster himself, Fred Ottoman. Are we looking forward to seeing
Oh, yes.
him probably do 4 moves across the whole of his career.
Over a decade.
Yeah. 15-year career, and he did a splash and a charge. I can't wait.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be fun.
Fact he's like it.
It is going to be wonderful.
It is going to be fun.
So do join us then, and then of course we start off August with me having all the power.
Oh yes.
Well, I don't know what it's going to be yet. So, but it's probably going to be Bull Buchanan. I'll just pre-warn you. But that leaves me to say from Ralphus himself, it's Jack Jones.
Ralphus.
I don't know anymore. And he's already dropped his pants. It's Sam Jones.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, folks.
Frankenberry 2020 bitches. But from the cellar to the roof, yo, I'm telling you the truth, bro. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. So you say you need some proof, no, I'll bust you in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Every second, every minute, every day's another hassle. Man, I'm feeling like a vegan quarantined in White Castle. Politicians, feminazis, and these social justice warriors ain't no better than the pedos and they money grubbing lawyers. Claiming I'm a saint, I ain't saying I'm no better, but I bet your ass a bill, I make your bitches pussy wetter. Now that I got your attention, man, it's time to get it on. I'm gonna drop this fucking hook now, all you bitches sing along. But from the cellar to the roof, yo, I'm telling you the truth, bro. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. So you say you need some proof, no, I'll bust you in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Man, this ain't some kind of goof, bro, this is the gospel truth, yo. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. This shit is for the youth, bro, you too long in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Every solitary hour, man, I'm living on 11. Spitting venom like a viper till I go show ass to heaven. Bitch, don't even step up on me, you's about to make me laugh. Man, my shit so hard I had to cut this hot 16 in half. Splitting all this freshness up in itty bitty baby doses, so it don't drive all you bitches into terminal psychosis. With a knick-knack, fitty sack, get a hoe up on. Here come the hook again, motherfucker, sing along. But from the cellar to the roof, yo, I'm telling you the truth, bro. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. So you say you need some proof, no, I'll bust you in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Man, this ain't some kind of goof, bro, this is the gospel truth, yo. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. This shit is for the youth, bro, you too long in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Well, ain't it funny how some money changes people like a potion? And the way they let their wallet take control of their emotions. How one day they go pathetic just to hang out with the homies, but the next they get so greedy that they rather just be lonely. Way up high atop the mountain or deep down into the ocean. Man, they ain't but one creator set all of this shit in motion. Your love is for the people, leave that ego shit alone. Here it come one final time, if you feel me, sing along. But from the cellar to the roof, yo, I'm telling you the truth, bro. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. So you say you need some proof, no, I'll bust you in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. Man, this ain't some kind of goof, bro, this is the gospel truth, yo. These motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo. This shit is for the youth, bro, you too long in the tooth. Oh, these motherfuckers ain't been like my name was Vince Russo.